Over the last couple months, I have been making one big course on selling AI as AI infrastructures, and this is going to change the game for sure the next couple months, couple years, however long AI is a thing, and I believe it's going to be one of the biggest trends in our lifetime, so may as well jump on the train while it's here. There are 6 sections in this course, and I'm going to just go straight into it as it's a pretty much, I've spent hours and hours filming it, making it, so you can essentially from zero start today, and then over the next few weeks you can have your own business that's running, selling AI infrastructures to other businesses, making tens of thousands of dollars a month, just like how I did in the first couple months, and I'll explain exactly how I did it right in this course. So without further ado, let's go into it. Let's not waste any time and enjoy. Alright, so welcome to the first video in section 1 of how to sell AI, the full free course. And this is really just going to be the basics and the fundamentals of what you should know going into watching the next few hours of content of mine, just really explaining, this is meant to be a copy and paste almost of the exact overview of how I actually scaled my business. Because personally, when I was starting, I wish I could see more into people and how they actually were doing it. This is what this is for, so you can just really see through this. And this is going to be a straight A to Z course, so if you're a complete beginner, you've never started a business online or anything before, this will be good for you. Or you've been running businesses, you've been doing things, you can take nuggets from what I'm going to explain here and you can implement that into your business to ultimately make more money in the process as well, right? So really quickly, I'm going to go over my background if you aren't familiar with who I am. Essentially, I documented my whole journey in my SMMA, or my social media marketing agency, on YouTube. The first video was kind of recapping my first 5 months, and then fast forward, I did a month 14th video. I had many videos in between then of documenting the months, but at the end of those 14-month video, I would say I was about making 17K-ish per month consistently within my agency. And then more recently, I made a video about how I was selling AI. I made over $13,000 in 3 days, and I got a bunch of messages on how did you do this? What even is this? And, ultimately just had a lot of questions, which more recently been able to scale to about 30 to 40K in the past month and a half, with that being pretty much all profit. Haven't had many expenses, and this has been just a much different experience than running an agency where I was having about 60 to 70% margins, and then this being about pretty much 90%, 95%, which is super cool. So really quickly, the goals of this course and the goals of everything in here is no waste of time. I've spent thousands of dollars on courses. I kind of get what's useless, what's boring, what's just not really there to really help you in a way. It's kind of just fluff. And that's not really what this is here for. I'm not here to just sugarcoat things or make things sound better and go hours and hours and hours of explaining topics that just don't need to be explained for that long. It's going to be pretty much just to the point so you can grasp it as quick as possible. And other question is, does selling AI work? Yes, I'm currently running this business model now, as you're listening to this, so I'm not going to sell you on some sort of dream or something like that with me making all my money through something like this and, just nothing on the back end. I have no proof. I'm doing this as I'm talking to you right now, so it's 100% proof it works. And why am I making this? Really, I want to make this to give back, to show people what's possible. I feel like a lot of people that go in with self-doubt, they don't know what they're doing, and a lot of them just give up over time. And ultimately, if I'm 17 and I can do this, probably you can too, right? So money and skills is obviously also a big goal of this. You can make a ton of money while doing it, and more importantly, gain the skills so you can benefit much beyond a venture like this. Because some context is, I'm pretty confident if I lost everything tomorrow, I'd be able to scale an agency to probably 10K plus per month in 30 days because I have the skills deep down of what it takes to get there. And that's not really something you get in like drop shipping or trading crypto. That's the thing, is like you're going to learn sales, you're going to learn talking to clients and customers, you're going to learn how to market your products, you're going to learn how to do kind of everything in one business model, which is why this is kind of just so cool. So what is selling AI? A bunch of people ask, like, what do you mean by this? And I don't want to give you this term of like AIGI or IPGA or all these terms that the people make up. I'm just going to make it very simple for you. This is kind of just combining SMMA, so a social media marketing agency, with AI softwares. If you had to think of both, if they had a baby, that's kind of what this is, right? So you kind of just combine the both. If you own an SMMA now, you can add this onto your products and you're pretty much what you offer to customers, and you can probably just make more money in the process too with upsells, things like that. That's what I did, right? So not going to overcomplicate things. Those are kind of the two nuggets there that make it. And also AI is consistently growing. As you probably know, everyone talks about it. So that's why when I talk about this, it's a lot more easier in the sales process than selling like Facebook ads or something like that. Like people already know in the back of their mind that AI is going to, take over the future. You just have to give it to them, right? And that's kind of what this has been. And it's going to keep growing, right? 100% it will. So that's why this is kind of just so cool. And what you get from this is you get 6 free modules to follow exactly how I scaled my AI business. Again, like I said at the start, this is just transparency. You can see into what I did because I don't see a lot of people doing that, and I wish I had that when I started, is you can see how I'm doing things. And my exact copy and paste, go high level GHL snapshot for funnels. You get all my automations, funnels, everything you can use, and it's just copy and paste, right? I made a special funnel and have special automations and everything like that. So you can just take it directly from me and implement it to yourself so you don't have to spend hours and hours building things out. You can just hit the ground running. And then free community and weekly calls. So I'm not sure how often I'm going to be doing these calls. The community is going to be hosted in school. And this is just me to help you answer, any questions you have. I've been running this in the Discord server I have as well. Once in a while, probably once or twice a month, we jump on calls. I'll answer a bunch of questions for people, and that's that. So that's completely for free on top of those 2 things as well. And the blueprint of this is there's going to be 6 sections, like I stated earlier. And section 1 is going to be just a basic introduction. So this is kind of what this is. And then there's going to be section 2, which is just offer, niche, decide sort of your service delivery, more of the basics you'll need to go into before you head into client acquisition, which is section 3. How do you get clients? How am I getting clients? And you can kind of just write that through there. Section 4 is going to be Air.ai walkthrough. So that's the main product I sell right now. So this is for client delivery and service delivery. You're going to have just the insights into what I use. Air.ai is a conversational AI, if you're not familiar with that already. And it's really good. That's what I am selling. And, I'm just going to give you pretty much the in-depth overview of how to use it, the basics, and also the more advanced parts because a lot of people have questions while using it. Section 5, which is going to be sales mastery, which is going to be pretty much everything I learned when it comes to sales. My exact scripts, objection handling, everything in there, so you can just use that. And then section 5, which is going to be sales mastery, which is going to be just all the scripts, objection handling, everything you kind of just need when it comes to, on calls, people giving objections, how do you handle them? I'm going to be giving kind of the exact scripts I use for them, so you can just take it from there. And then section 6 is going to be scaling past 20, 30, 40K per month. That's where I'm at currently, and I'm just going to give you kind of just what I'm planning on doing now going forward with everything here. This is ideally supposed to be a 5-week period. So going through all this, it should take probably a few weeks. And then you've obviously got the couple weeks on top of that where you need to get some clients. It's going to take a little bit of time. Depends on, which routes you take going through this course. But ideally 5 weeks from now, you have a client that's either paying you or on a free trial. Both are good. And then, you can just run with that and, keep acquiring clients. So the community, like I said, is going to be on school. So the link will be in description if you're not already in there already. This is where I'm going to be just hosting. Introduce yourself if you haven't. Quickly just say your name, what you're excited to learn, or something like that. Just give the introduction of who you are, what you've done, what your goals are. So yeah, pretty simple there. This course will also all be in there. If you're watching it there, you know that. But it'll also be in there as well. So the tasks after this video I want you to go and do is just going to be, first, make a welcome post in the school community. I didn't even know what school was a few months ago. I started using it. It was super cool. I didn't have an account and I didn't want to make an account. If you don't have an account already, it's really cool. There's a bunch of features inside of there, especially inside this course and everything in the community. So hop in there. I'll answer questions for people in there as well. 2, start watching and finish section 1. So this is going to just be the section you're in right now. Finish the rest of it. It should be fairly straightforward. And section 3 should be join our free weekly calls. So again, not sure how often I'm going to do these. I'm planning on doing weekly, but if it's not, it's going to be once or twice a month, and you can just ask me any questions you have there. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Do these 3 things, and I'll see you there. Okay, so welcome to the second video inside of section 1. This is going to be the Go High Level overview. So Go High Level, if you don't know what it is, it's a CRM. It's really, really good. It's going to save you a ton of money when it comes to websites, building out calendars, building out automations. It's an all-in-one platform. So, and I've already given you a lot of what you need there. So really quickly, let's go over into what is actually I'm going to cover over the next couple videos. So the overview is basically I'm going to go over the features, agency view, sub-account view. What does that mean? Kind of what are the differences? How to use them when signing up? You'll kind of get the basics of how this works. Obviously, if you've already used Go High Level before, skip to the end of this video just really quickly. This is a very quick video. This is kind of just outlining what I'm going to talk about in the next couple videos on what to do next. But second is going to be the domains and website connection. So how do you connect these? What are they? And how do they work? Third will be automations. So I've given you automations already. How do we even connect them? What do they do? I'm going to kind of just explain that. And then fourth is the calendars and appointments. So when people book in, clients want to book in with you, appointments of sales calls they want to book in with you. How do we set that up so they get the automations, you get Zoom links, all that? Make it pretty simple here in these 4 videos. So that's where the next videos are on. And really quickly, the tasks after this short video is first, make a Go High Level or GHL, same thing, account with the link below. When you sign up with the link below, you're going to pretty much just get access to all my funnels, automations, and everything like that. The second you sign up, you're going to get an email. You'll also get a 14-day free trial. You're going to email with a snapshot and how to use it. And then also watch the next videos because it's going to be very important on how you will import, do everything within Go High Level. And that's just going to save you a ton of time. One thing I wish I had when I started was a bunch of tutorials around High Level. Didn't know how it worked. I'm going to make it very simple here. Pretty much straight to the point, so you just can follow me. You don't have to worry about all the other million stuff that the software offers. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Sign up with the link below. That's the only way you're going to get pretty much access to everything I'm going to explain in the next couple videos and pretty much throughout this whole course. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, so welcome to the snapshot features video inside of section 1. This is going to basically be everything once you've signed up with the link I just explained in the last video. Is going to email. It's going to have a link there of like what you'll import once you create the account, and that's when you sign up. So once you sign up with the link, you'll get an email with a separate link, and then you can just import that snapshot within that link there, if that makes sense. But just sign up with the link, you'll get the email and the instructions there. Simplest way I can put it. So what we're going to talk about in this quick video is my exact funnels and websites. The exact everything I use, so just how I close clients, the exact ones that have been proven and tested. I've messed around with a bunch of split testing. You're going to get the exact ones. And when I was starting, I didn't even know what a funnel was. Just think of it as a bunch of websites that leads to one. So when you go to a page where you have to fill out your information, the next page you have to then book a call. Third page, then it kind of has some calls or some videos you watch, and then that's going to just be before your call. So that's kind of an example of just a funnel right there. Second is going to be my automations and reminders. So you're going to get the workflows and the automations I use just within my own pretty much automations, reminders, all that sort of stuff. So it's simple and easy for you. Third will be automations you will need for the AI. So this is a copy and paste. I'm not going to go crazy in depth on all this within this video. I have a whole section on it, but just think of it as this is what you'll use with the AI. So it's simple there. And then fourth will be the pipeline and organization. How do we keep people organized and everything like that? So let's quickly go into it. So when you've signed up with Go High Level, you've used my link and you're kind of just at this page. Colors might look a little bit different, or just the website URL. It's white labeled just with my brand, so don't worry about it. But really, once you come here, what am I even looking at? What is this? So simplest way I'm going to put this is within Go High Level, there's an agency view, which is kind of just the overall umbrella of a bunch of things under it. So what is under it are the sub accounts. So the agency view, I'm never in this. Look, this essentially, there's 2 views. There's a sub account view and there's an agency view. I'm never in the agency view. I'm always in sub account views because you have essentially each sub account, you'll have like your client in one sub account. You'll have yourself in a sub account. Each sub account can have different websites, different automations, different phone numbers. Everything, it's just different accounts in general, right? And that's all you need to know. Once you use the snapshot, you click the link and then it'll just ask you to import it once you've signed up. Then you click to add sub account up here. This is what the agency view looks like, so don't worry about anything else here. Just click add sub account and then yours should show up right here. So it should say imported snapshot. I'm not going to click on that because I have a bunch of other snapshots already there, but the imported snapshot should just be Carson free course snapshot. Okay, just click that. And then once you can just click select and continue there, and then it'll have you fill out some information, so you can just add account manually. That's what I like to do. And then you fill out your information here, boom, 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 and then you click save. And I'm going to quickly just skip this video up until I'm in my sub account because that's where all the magic happens. This agency view I'm looking at right here, nothing happens in here. So I'll see you guys in the sub account view. Okay, so once you've just clicked create and you've saved, you filled out your information and you've made your first sub account, this is what it's going to look like. And again, on the left, if the colors or words a little bit different, the symbols will be the same. Like leads, I think for you is probably opportunities, same thing. Okay, but overall, what is all this? What are you looking at? And I'm kind of just going to go through each section so you know actually what's important. Launchpad, don't worry about that. You can have the app on your phone. I have that, so kind of useful there. Dashboard is really just an overview of all the metrics and the stats of your opportunities, everything in there, which I've already kind of built out a pipeline for you so you can use it. Conversations, very, very important when you have texting back and forth with leads, clients, whoever it is, that'll be in here. Calendars will be right here, which is how obviously pretty self-explanatory. When people book in with you, you'll see little time slots here on the calendar. Contacts is essentially, this is just going to be where you can download your whole list and database of just leads in general. And, pretty simple there. You can just view all of them here. I have no records found. It's a brand new account. So this is probably what it'll be looking like for you. Leads, or I might say opportunities for you, is essentially just this exact pipeline I've already made for you. So right here is the main pipeline. You'll have leads that can go from opt-in lead to intro booked. So they've booked an intro, or maybe their intro was unqualified, or they were qualified enough to get booked into a demo call, or like more in-depth full-on walkthrough call that you go with them and you pitch them on the price. This depends on your sales process. Some people have 1 calls, some people have 2 calls. Doesn't really matter. You can do both, but I just like 2 calls. This is kind of just made for it. If you don't like it, you can just quickly click pipelines up here, click edit, and then you can delete some of them here. So pretty simple there. Otherwise, you just pretty much swap people in between these and then all the way up until they've closed, right? So pretty cool there. Payments, don't worry about it. I don't really ever use it. I just use Stripe. Marketing, don't ever use that either. Automations, which we're going to go into. Sites, which we'll also go into, both very important. And then everything else, pretty much useless. Don't worry about it. So let's first start with the websites, the funnels, everything like that. I'm going to make this very, very simple for you. But essentially, the way they have it set up is you can add websites here if you want to make one big website, or you have funnels, which I've already given you 2 funnels, one being an onboarding funnel. So once you onboard clients, you can kind of go through this. You can fill out your information. Pretty simple there is you just kind of just go in here, you click edit, and you can just edit the website. Mess around with it a bit. It might seem a little bit weird if you've ever designed websites before. It's going to be a bit odd, but it's, you're going to get used to it. And then also we have the main lead funnel, which is just where all the leads will opt in. You'll send people to, they're going to book with you, and then you'll have a pre-call page, which they'll watch. So that's that. You can edit these as you wish. So I'm going to quickly just click edit on this one. Obviously, I've made these to the point where you can just kind of just edit them as you want. Okay, so you can put your image here. You can click down here. You can click this little video, this little image thing. You can upload your image. Pretty simple. And then this will be your logo. And you've got all this stuff here. So we've already made this for you. So like this is only for X business owners for whatever your niche is. We'll go over into how to choose this. This is really just the basics of the funnels and the websites. One quick tip is if you're newer and you don't have anything, don't make and focus your time on making a one big website. Okay, you don't need it unless you have a bunch of traffic going there. It's not going to be needed. So don't worry about that. Just worry about editing these to make it your own, add your logo, make the colors a bit different if you want, and just mess around with them. So once we've covered those, these are the main 2 things, is we'll go over into the automation section, which has the workflows, the booked call reminders. How does all this work? Essentially, there's 2 folders I have made for you. One being booked call. So these will be just the reminders and sort of the automations you'll use once, actually importing this is when you have someone book, you want to have them show up at the call. So ideally, you have appointment reminders, you have things like that, so they show up, right? That's what I have. Pretty much everyone has that. Okay, so we've already made these automations for you. All you have to do is go in them, so click on that. The trigger will be lead booked an appointment in calendar. This might be blank for you right now. Don't worry about it. I'll show you why soon. But essentially, all you have to do is go into your calendars. We've already made a couple, and then you click on the 3 dots of where you would edit them and click activate calendar. I have a video on how to do that soon, so again, just follow me as I go through here. But essentially, we have all these things in this automation of like 1-hour reminders, 2-hour reminders, I think it's a 3-hour reminder, 24-hour reminder, and then a confirmation reminder, which is just a bunch of emails, text messages, everything like that. I've made this to the point where the user email, so the person, so ideally you that's taking the call with the person, or if you have a closer or something like that, is automatically the person who is sending the email. All you have to do is change the business name. So whatever your business is, quickly just change that there and you're good to go. And then obviously scroll down here at the bottom, you have biz name here. This is the email. So this is pretty much all done for you, so you don't have to worry about it. Change whatever you want up, of course, do what you want, but it's pretty much made for you, as well as the texting. So look at a text saying, hey, what's up, first name. So that's the first name of the person that booked. And it'll say, this is username. So whoever is taking the call. So if you're the one taking the call, obviously your name would show up here. I'll be taking care of you through our appointment. And then I just saw you landed on my calendar, just making sure you accepted the invite. So making sure they accepted. You've got another message that goes out 6 seconds later. Quick tip I found. And then it also says, did you get the invite in your email too? Just wanting to make sure we'll be calling your cell phone when it's time. This is the discovery call. If you just do one call close, obviously it'll just be on Zoom, but this is discovery calls normally just on the phone. So pretty simple there. You go through, switch out all this stuff like I made a case study email for you. You can delete this as you want, so you can just click delete if you don't want these automations here. But more the merrier, more content, more things they consume, the more serious it seems on the call. Just as like this little 6-second thing makes it so, okay, it waits 6 seconds and then it sends them another text so it doesn't think like we're an automation bot or you're just replying automated messages, stuff like that. It looks like a human, which makes them obviously probably want to show up to the call more. In this little email, that's a case study email, you can import, like if you have a video here of testimonials or you have just an overview of your product and everything, what they should expect on the call. Link it here. Obviously change up your business name. You'll have to do that in all the emails and etc. Okay, I could keep going, but you get the gist. You'll go through all these and you'll kind of just update them. Click save at the top. If you want to look at settings and enrollment history when people get enrolled through the automation or execution logs, you can do all that. Okay, not to overcomplicate you, but you know that's as simple as it is. That's what the kind of automations look like. It's the same thing with the demo calendar. So right here, it's the same exact things except it'll be more gauged for Zoom calls, while this is phone calls because it's supposed to be a quick 15-minute appointment. Now, going over to the AI, what automations I've already made for you there is this is with Air.ai. Again, I have a full section on this, so don't worry too much about it now. But when you go over to lead nurture, there's going to be two things. So really quickly, you probably might be confused on how this works. But all the sources of how people opt in, so if they opt in from an ad or if they opt in from a certain forum, they're going to get a tag added and then they're going to create an opportunity. So just, one of the people over here in this little pipeline, which I'll show you in a minute, that'll essentially add them to this automation. So once the tag is added, Air lead, they're going to go through this automation and it's essentially going to have the AI custom call them. Okay. And this is again all in the snapshot that I've provided for you, so you just take it with you. And I have more videos on how this works in that section. I'm not going to overcomplicate things here, but that's kind of how it works. So we can quickly go out of that. Don't worry about this now. Just you can make your booked call automations. Make sure the names and everything you want there is correct. And then sites, obviously down what I explained here. Make it more your logo and everything like that. If you don't know your niche yet, of course, I've got videos on that in section 2, so just wait till then. But this is just the overview of how high level works and everything like that. So when you do have questions, you can come back here. And lastly, I'll go over to the lead section, or might look like opportunities. So this is just what the pipeline looks like. Kind of already explained this, but you can slide people in between here. The automation, so when someone gets booked, I already have it. So when someone books in a intro or a demo, it'll go here for the intro, and then for a demo, their name will pop up here. And then as you take the call with them, if they no-show, you can throw them there, or if it's a follow-up. This is ultimately just to stay organized. Biggest thing here, so just don't worry about too many things now, except those two things I explained, which is just kind of finishing up the websites, making sure they're good, and then making sure the automations for the book calls have your right name and stuff at the end, and your business name, and all that. So yeah, overall, those are kind of the 4 things that we need to go over in this video. Tasks after this video will be obviously import that snapshot in the email you get. Get used to using Go High Level. Okay, mess around with things. This is not something that you're gonna just immediately pick up in one day. It takes some time. Okay, and it's 100% worth it because it's gonna save you a lot of money than using 10 different softwares. Because this is just all in one. I love it. I use it every day. Just get used to using it. It's gonna take some time, of course. Bunch of YouTube videos out there if you need more help, or just Go High Level support directly. And yeah, so head over to the next videos for more in-depth breakdowns of everything I'm explaining here, and we'll go into how to set up domains, calendars, all that soon. So yeah, see you guys there. Okay, so welcome to section 1, websites and funnels video. this is going to be just as simple as it sounds. So I'm going to go over kind of like the websites, funnels, all that sort of stuff when it comes to like connecting domains, how the opt-in forms work, and everything you already have with the snapshot that I've given you. This is just going to be more in depth. I covered a little bit of the overview stuff in the last video, of just kind of the broad overview of the snapshot, but I'm going to just go more in depth here so you understand how it works. So overview of this is how to add your domain, how to connect it and go high level. So obviously it's pretty easy to buy a domain just off GoDaddy or something like that. How to edit the websites and the funnels. So, you know, how to edit them when it comes to like lead opt-in conversion rate, what's higher, what's lower. A lot of the funnels I've already given you have been tested. So that's kind of the cool part about this, but you've got to obviously change it to your style, your niche, everything like that. So just making it simple there. How the opt-in forms work, so that's a separate section in Go High Level, which is the forms, and I'm going to kind of just show you what I have set up there, what's already kind of pre-built for you, so it's pretty simple. And then also how these funnels will be used, which is going to save you a ton of time when it comes to either you're running ads or you're getting traffic to it. It's a game changer. Okay, this is what I did, and pretty much every online business out there has funnels, opt-in forms, all that sort of stuff. So let's quickly go over into my screen in Go High Level, and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so first let's go into how to actually add your domain. First, you're gonna go to settings, so right down here into settings, then you go scroll down over to domains. Pretty simple, and you're gonna click add domain. Obviously, put the website of your domain, so aneedly.com, for example, and then I always like to have this click too. There's a difference between just aneedly.com and www.aneedly.com. So just kind of simple there. I like to have it both there, so they're both added. Then you'll click continue, and normally it'll already find it automatically for you, and it'll just prompt you with a quick, hey, we found it's on Google or GoDaddy. Yep, right here. Your provider is Google Domains, so it's just gonna have you sign in, authorize it. Pretty easy. If it's not, you can add it manually. So what that looks like is you can add records manually. So let's say aneedly.com like this, and then you got to import these just custom into your website DNS settings. Easiest if you get it from GoDaddy, or I don't even think Google Domains is a thing anymore. I don't know. I think it's a Square or something like that. Just get it, and then obviously they have a video here which you can watch too if you want to just add it manually. This should work with anything. This is kind of like a last resort, and once you have it added here, there are going to be two that show up right here. Ideally that you have both www and then also just the regular, you know, aneedly.com or whatever your domain is, and then we can connect it to the funnels. So going back over to the funnels, we can go to sites, and then for this example we'll go into the main lead funnel, which you should have right here. And just so you understand what this is you're just not editing random stuff, is these funnels, obviously this is as simple as it sounds, onboarding funnel. So this is the funnel that you'll make, and you'll have some pre-recorded videos for when people come through and you have clients that get signed. They can just kind of do most of the onboarding process just within the step. So it's pretty easy on your end. You don't have to do a bunch of stuff. But this is going to be the mainly used one, which is the main lead funnel. And this is going to be all the leads that opt in to your ads, your content, which is everything we're going to go over in sort of the client acquisition module and section. But this stuff needs to be built out first. So this is kind of the key point. So first, you can go over to settings, then just select your domain. It doesn't matter. You can do www or just the regular one. Select the domain. I just like doing the www one, and you know, you can click that, click save there. None of this other stuff really matters. If you want a favicon, you can just upload your URL or your your logo as a URL, and then you can just put that link right here, the URL there. So firstly, what is this funnel? How does it work? So I'm going to quickly just show you which each page looks like rather. So firstly, right here, so you can already kind of see how this is working. So when someone comes through an ad or something like this, this is already pre-built for you. So, you know, get X, new X. So let's say get 10 plus new patients with our talking AI or you don't pay. Okay. So this is kind of just the basic landing page. They can click this and then it's going to show this here. Again, I'm going to kind of go over what these forms are and stuff, how you can edit them. But for the time being, this is the first page they're going to land on. You'll put your logo here. It'll look a bit different. And then the next page you'll get put to is this, right? So this is going to be the discovery call. You can make this the demo call. I'll show you when I edit this in a second. But, you know, this is kind of just the second step in the funnel, which is then they book a call, so they can select a time. and then they have all these questions here. So again, you can change this depending on your niche, everything like this. I've made this pre-built for you, so you can just have this. Ideally, it's going to already work with your niche. So they're going to submit their website. They're going to tell you how many deals they do a month. So if that's not something related to your niche, delete it. And then also, if there's a 1000% guaranteed ROI, how willing and able are you to invest in your business? So this is kind of just qualifying if they can actually invest money, this is the exact questions I asked. If you're accepted, how soon are you ready to be actually, beginning all this? ASAP, in a few weeks, in a few months. Ideally, you just want to accept ASAP and in a few weeks. And then choose what's best. Obviously, I will block off time for this appointment, is what you want to hear. If they say that, then obviously just cancel the appointment. So yeah, this is the second step in the funnel where they're actually going to book a call. And then when we go up to over here in the third step, you can see right here, this is kind of like the pre-call page. So once they've booked their call, they'll get put right here. And just so you understand how it works, they submit this form here, then they'll get shot to this page. They're going to book a call, and then they're going to get shot to this page. This is what a funnel is, right? And then I like to have them just first make a very good VSL. This is where you're going to have your main video and a VSL is a video sales letter. So just one good video about kind of what they should know before the call, maybe some client results or just testimonials if you have those, or just overall what your product's going to really do for their business. And then I also like to add, join our free Facebook group down here. I like to make a Facebook group for all my potential leads and everyone to just be in one place. And then you can just redirect them here. It's a pro tip. That's what I do. You should do it too. And then down here, you can have like testimonials. So obviously if you don't have testimonials or anything, you can delete this section. But if you do, great, put it here. And then here's what our partners have to say about working with us. And then just a bunch of testimonials where you can put their name and everything like that. And yeah, that's the third step. So how do we actually go in and edit these? So I'm going to quickly show you how this works. I'm going to go right here, edit. And then right here, you can kind of just see, this is, if you've ever edited websites before, this is very, very similar. You can go in here, you can look at like the phone, mobile view. So this is going to be probably the most important view because most people are going to be interacting on the phone. So depending on how you like this, how you do, you can change it up. So like that, great. If we like how that looks, save that. When you save anything, and you can also click this right here, SEO metadata, also very important. So like when you see at the top, it says like, a neatly, right? That's kind of like the title of the website. So you want the title, you want this to be actually corrected with you. So like get X new X with our talking AI or you don't pay. So obviously make that your niche. You can add your social profile or your little image here just by clicking that and then uploading an image. Pretty simple. And like this, and then you can upload a file, and then obviously you just double click that, and then it'll already make it as a URL, which is really cool. So then you kind of have the thing here, and it's the same thing you do with these images. So you just click this, upload your image right here, upload file, and then once it's here, double click on it, and then it'll actually like be a URL that's already made, just like this one. And then you can go in and copy and paste that to other images if you want, everything like that. So just that, keep that in mind. Now the one thing to keep in mind is the way I built this website is it's different, if you couldn't tell, for mobile and computer. And what I mean by this is if you see how this down here is, see if your area is available. Click here. Okay, you see that there. You don't see the click here on the desktop version. This is because you can see here, this is only optimized for computer. And, I like to do this just to optimize for the device. It's already done for you, so don't worry about too much about that. But yeah, so essentially you saw that pop-up form, which is right here. So if we go to pop-up settings, this is the form. So we have this little progress bar. That's what the element is called. So like the way you add elements, by the way, you just go right here. You can see all these down here. Boom, progress bar. That was the one we added. And then enter your info below. This is what they're going to enter. And then this is the form we made, which we just like asking these quick, easy questions there. And I'm going to show you where the form settings are in just a minute. But then we can go back out. This is the first step. So obviously edit these depending on your stuff. Like this is all going to be dependent on you. But it's already kind of just pre-made for you, right? That's the whole goal of this. So do that with these 3 steps. If you want to change the calendar, just like, let's say you only want to have one call closes where it's just on Zoom. You don't want to have any phone call or anything like that. You can click this and then just switch this to demo call right there. And then now, boom. Okay, you can do that. And you can mess around with these settings. Like again, this is just mess around with this stuff. You're going to get more used to it over time. I'm going to keep it discovery call and calendar for now. And obviously change your metadata, your SEO, all that. And then once you're done, you're good. I'm going to just leave site. So how do we get the form, which is kind of what I was showing earlier about when the pop-up. So when we click here on this form right here, when we click that button, there's that little form that appears. Where is that, right? So let's quickly go over to forms up here and then builder, opt-in booking form. So we have two here. So opt-in form, which is the one that you saw, which is very simple. It's just this. Okay, so you can switch this up. You can add whatever you want. If you want to click here, add forms, so you can add like date of birth that they have to put or something like that, you know. So pretty simple there. You click save at the top and you can obviously switch that back over. Booking form, so this is what you saw in the booking calendar. So all these questions, it's just pulling exactly from here. I would say, like, if this doesn't apply to you, how many deals do you sell per month? If that isn't a thing in your niche, you can quickly just delete it and you can just have these questions, make it kind of easy for them. Or if you want to add more, you can obviously do that too. Pretty simple there. And yeah. So overall, these funnels are going to be just used to save you a bunch of time when it comes to, you're going to just have hundreds of people right here in these stats. You're going to have hundreds of people just going through these, opting in ideally, and really just saving you the time so you don't have to manually book them and do all this stuff. They go right through here. This is a proper landing page that they'll go through, and you know, it's pretty much just done. It's like one of those things that you set and you build, and then it just kind of works for you, right? That's what this is, and that's the whole goal of this. Obviously, when it comes to like publishing, you can see like the web URL or anything like that. So like opt-in solar. Okay, so you can change this. So like, for example, all these pages, obviously they have different URLs. You can quickly click here and you can edit that. So like you can go like step 1. Okay, and you can update. Perfect, just like that. So then like the end of the URL will be like aneedly.com or www.aneedly.com/step1. Okay, that's kind of how you do it. That's what I like to do, and yeah. So overall, that is how you add your domain, edit the websites, the funnels, all that sort of stuff. Again, when it comes to websites, if you're newer, don't be caught up about building a website. It's just not really needed. Trust me on that. It's something I wasted a lot of time on. You know, you kind of learned how the opt-in forms work, the booking calendar form worked, all that. You can kind of just edit it depending on what you want. And then how the funnels are actually used. So this is mainly in like ads or people that opt in from content. Mainly just traffic that you're either paying for or you're having organic on YouTube. Or whatever platform you're using, to have people come and just go through one place and funnel through, book a call with you, and then actually buy your product. So yeah, that's kind of it. So tasks after this video is create your funnel, publish it, use it, you know, obviously connect your domain and all that, and then watch the next video when it comes to calendar and appointments to book your calls. So yeah, that's that. Hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, so welcome to the calendars and appointments video. In section 1, this is going to be just really how to set up your calendar with the right integrations and everything like that. So when you have appointments, you're all good to go. You know, you have everything integrated and connected, so it's easy. So first, overview of what we're going to do, the basics of the calendars in high level. How does this work? You know, like just the really basics, because it's kind of confusing how it works. So I'm going to show you quickly just how this actually, you know, goes down. Phone numbers, very important when it comes to texting. You've got to submit some stuff. You've got to really just make sure you're a real business. You're not trying to scam people. They make sure of that, and I'm going to show you how to actually go through that process. Apply for A2P to text. So it's not the funnest part to do, but you've got to do it in order to actually be able to text off a phone number. So this is going to be very important when it comes to like appointment reminders, everything like that, because or else, you know, you got a bunch of people booking and they don't have any reminders or anything for their call. And then last, add your email address. So pretty important as well. We're going to go over kind of just all these things, and we'll go over into high level now. So starting in the basics of the calendars, first, what I like to do is just go over here, click on calendar settings, and then scroll down. You've got your 2 calendars here. So demo call, which is the 45-minute call, ideally on Zoom or Google Meet, anything like that. And then you got your discovery call calendar, which is generally just a phone call, qualifying to see if they're, you know, actually a good fit. The prospect is, and this call always goes first. And then obviously if you're just doing a 1-call close, just do the demo call. But really quickly, it's pretty easy how to edit these and everything like that. So just, I'm going to go through this fairly quick. Calendar name, discovery call. Obviously you just change your description, everything like that. None of this really matters too much. You know, this is all very similar. Now, here's where it gets a little bit kind of confusing. So this calendar is set up in a round robin, so we can connect the Zoom. So this will be a, you know, ideally a Zoom meeting that the person talks to, or on the demo. that is. I'm going to quickly go to that. I'm not going to show you the discoveries, just so you understand this. Same thing, but I'm just going to go through it. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing, is you've got to add a team member, and when you're probably looking at this now and you click this box, you have no team members. So what you need to do, you have to quickly click up in the top left a bit right here, and then go to the agency view. I'm going to kind of just say this. Follow me. Ideally, if you don't, reach out to support, which is really, really good. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So you're going to go back to the agency view. You're going to click on settings, and then you're going to see my staff on the left. Now, once you see my staff, click on that, and then you're going to add an employee. You want to add an employee, and then an employee you're going to add is yourself. And this can be just you on a different email address, simply because you've got to add someone else that's going to be able to connect their account and stuff. I hate how they have this set up. It's not my decision, but that's just how they have it set up. So you need to add a team member. Once you go through and you add them, you add like their phone number, their email. You don't even have to add their phone number, but their email. You quickly go down and you can select like what access to what sub account they have access to. Click the sub account that you're working in right here, and so you can actually add them to the calendar. Once you do that, click save, and then once they're added, really quickly, I'm going to show you how to log in as them. But before I do that, if you have help with this, if that was at all confusing the way I just quickly explained it, please, they have great support. I use this a lot. Is click up in the little question mark and then go down to live chat, and you can jump on a Zoom call with them. So that's what I always like to do. Right here, you can just click support, and boom, you can literally just talk with them there and jump on a Zoom call, go through all your questions. So if this didn't make sense to you, ask them exactly how to do this. So pretty much just exactly that. But if you do add them, you quickly click up here, you click login as, and then I'll click Carson. Okay, we'll click this. So this is ideally the person you added, the staff member you added to the account. Login as them, and then it should look pretty different, and I'll explain what that means in a second. Is now you have the option of my profile right here, and what that means is I'll show you what it means in a second. But essentially now this profile you've added is what you're going to add right here. So this profile I'm logged in as is who's taking the calls. Really quickly, you can go through availability, obviously change up depending on you, and everything like that. The calendar form is pretty simple, just obviously default, stuff like that. That's fine. Notifications, I just have it set up like this. Customizations, very simple. I don't really mess around with that. But where you want to actually just understand things a little bit more is when you go to my profile. So once you've clicked up in my profile right here up on the left, this is where you connect your Zoom and you connect the things that you actually need to have actually all set up. So right here, meeting location, you're going to click connect Zoom, or if you want to use Google Meet, that's fine too. I'll show you how to connect that in a second. Click right there. It's going to ask you to like sign with your Zoom and stuff, so that's fine. Make sure your time zone is right. And you can select all your hours here. The hours that you have set here is kind of like the first. So you've got your hours on the calendar that are open. Obviously, I just showed you that. And then you've got your hours here that is just within your profile. If you only allow 1 to 2 p.m. here, and you have like the whole day on the calendar, you're only going to take calls from 1 to 2. But if you have calls open all day here, and you have calls, open, all your calendars and everything open on the availability section in the calendar for like 5 hours, then it'll just open up those 5 hours, because it's kind of just they have to sync essentially, right? Which is all it is. So they have to kind of align up, and you can make them the same as calendar, all these available hours. That's fine. Doesn't matter. You don't even have to change it. It'll just go with the calendar anyways. But essentially, you can click the default calendar. So just click demo or whatever it is. Obviously English. Ideally, you're listening to this in English, so click update there. And then you've got down here. That's that. So once you've got your Zoom connected, make sure it's Zoom, and then that's all connected there. You're going to go down to integrations on the left. This is going to be connecting your email and one other thing. So right here, click sign in with Google. You're going to sign with your Google account. You're going to go back up to my profile, and then this is how you actually connect things to your calendar. So when you have people that book in, it essentially goes right to your calendar. So it's like an event on your Google Calendar as well as your Go High Level calendar. It's going to go down here, calendar configuration. Configure this, make sure there's no conflicts and everything like that. That's what it's going to ask you here. And then what you're going to do next is make sure up here that your email right here, you can switch this. You should be able to switch this to the same email you signed in down here as with. because the thing is now you're going to be emailing off that email you logged in down here as. That's the best way to do it. You can also go down to email services over here. Where is that? Missing it. Email services right there. And you can obviously just click out of here. You can add email. You can add all this stuff here. I'd recommend just getting on support with them if you want to do all that. Again, we're logged in as the staff, the profile here. But you know, just if you want to go more in depth when it comes to email stuff and adding a bunch of emails, jump on support with them. They'll help you out. Otherwise, that's the quick and easy way to do it, is just connecting your Google right there. Right there. Boom. So next is going to be going back over to calendars. You're going to head over back here and you're going to go to connections right here. Make sure your Zoom is connected. It'll give you an option for that. Make sure your Google is calendars selected. And once those both are there, you're good. Okay. Like, things are good. Last thing I will quickly just check is make sure your demo down here. Just click on the ones you're assigned to. Make sure it's Zoom or Google Meet, whatever one you want. You should be good to go right there from there. So once you've done that, one more thing I'm going to cover in this video, which is phone numbers, A2P. This stuff can be a complete pain, so just follow me as I go along here. This needs to be exactly, if you have a business registered, I'm going to switch back over to the regular agency profile. If you have a business registered, it needs to be the exact business information that you're applying with. If you don't have a business, just have it be your personal stuff. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to add a number, quickly add a phone number, and then once this loads, you're going to buy a phone number. Okay, you can do this with whatever zip code you're ideally going to be contacting people in. For this case, I'm not going to buy anything, but you just click whatever you want. You can filter, so obviously this, and then first part of the number, and you could do like 425. Okay, and then you get all these 425 area code ones like that. Click proceed to buy, get the phone number, and just, I would have this phone number, I'd like to just write it down. Okay, it's going to make sense in a minute why you write this down. Write it down, and then you'll understand in a minute why. So next, we're going to go over to A2P messaging. So for this example, I'm going to just be very quick here. You're going to go, this, you have to register this or your messages won't send through the phone number. Like, this is very important. So next thing you're going to do is this business entity you are registering located in the US or Canada? Go through these questions. I'm not going to go through all these right here with you. But once you've filled out your business information, all that, I'm going to quickly show when it asks you some regular questions in the campaign details. I'm going to go there right in a second. Okay, and when you get put right here to the brand details section, you can just click this, I guess, just click acknowledge, should be fine. Click continue. Brand name, you can obviously just put whatever you want, so I'm not going to put anything here. That's fine. Obviously put your regular brand. Boom, boom. Okay, continue. Put that as your regular stuff. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing. What I like to say is all you want to do here, and I'm going to make this very quick, is it says see example right here, copy it and literally just paste it. Okay, copy and paste it, copy and paste, copy and paste, and then switch it up depending on your stuff. So this campaign sends information, company name, switch that out to your name. If you're a sole proprietor or business, obviously your exact business name. Same thing there. And then meeting yesterday, boom, boom, that's all fine. And you can click next. And then obviously right here, you just copy again, boom, and move my face. And then you copy this right here, right there. And then you just make sure this is correct. So one thing is make sure it's the URL that we set up the funnel with. And if this ever doesn't approve, best bet is to jump on support with them right here. I've had a bunch of client things not approved. They're funny about this stuff. If it doesn't approve, just remember, jump on support with them. They should be able to help you out and give you a reason why. But for now, make sure just put the link of the funnel that the booking page is in exactly. And then that should be fine. And then obviously make sure the company name and all that is good. And then click submit. That's going to be the A2P. Takes a couple days. It's an annoying triggering process, but that's that. So now that we've gone over calendars, phone numbers, A2P and all that, and then also adding the email address, again, any more questions you have at high level, just jump on support with them. Going to be your quickest bet. But hopefully you were able to kind of track this a bit. And now tasks after this video is really just follow all these steps, go through them as many as possible, do as much as you can, and then go to the next video, watch about the automations, reminders, all that sort of stuff, and how to use them. So yeah. Hope this helped. I'll see you guys there. Okay, so welcome to the automations and reminders video inside of section 1. Quickly go into what we're going to cover in here. So overview is all the automations I use and what I've been using. You have this in the snapshot, so I'm going to kind of go more in depth on them. I've already kind of explained in the past step of like what to change in them. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth though. How to edit them, make them to yours. So business name, all that needs to be your stuff. And then the automations you'll need for the AI, which is just, again, a copy and paste. So let's go over to it. So now that we're in high level, first thing we're going to do is obviously go down to automation. And we've got these two folders here. First, we're going to go to the book call one. Right here, we can go to either or, discovery or demo call, reminders and all that. But this is really just a bunch of reminders, emails, messages to get these people to show up to your appointments. It's already pre-built for you, so you just got to fill in a couple steps. Make sure, in calendar, demo call. And one quick thing, when you go and you import the snapshot, if you didn't hear this in the past video, I already probably stated. If I didn't, when you import the snapshot, you got to go over and you got to click the little edit button next to the calendar when you go to edit the calendar. And there's going to be a button called activate calendar because a lot of them are deactivated. So if you go right here and nothing's showing up, you've got to activate it. But anyways, let's go into this automation. So this is for the demo call. I'm just going to go through this as the example. First thing, it's going to wait 30 seconds, simple. Then it's going to create an opportunity. So this is right here. So let's say right here, main pipeline, and then obviously we want the demo call. We can switch this right here to boom, 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 demo booked, okay? And then everything else is fine. So save that because this means that in the pipeline, everyone that gets booked will now be in the demo calendar when they get booked as a demo. Okay, simple enough. Then we got a confirmation email, which is I like to just have this as like they know it's going to be an automated email, so it's going to send immediately. Obviously, change your business name here. Right here, this is kind of just, and I'm going to explain my actual thought process through this. Change your business name, right? So the whole goal of this automation, and this is why I like this, is, and you'll see this a lot more on my discovery call calendar, is essentially we have this confirmation email, and then on the discovery call, kind of the first call you'll have with them. Demo calls, ideally you've already had with them. If you don't run a one call, if you do run a one call close, just make sure you're actually adding these steps right here. So I like to have a confirmation email. Then we wait about 4 minutes 30 seconds. We have another text right here, and then we have another text after waiting 6 seconds after this text, and then we have it saying like, did you get the invite too? Just making sure. So it doesn't seem automated, Obviously change these messages depending on you. This is all kind of just made for you, pre-made. 24 hours, it'll wait. Same thing with the emails. Make sure you don't have to change this. You don't have to change this except just the business name. Make sure we have a thing where it says they need to reply yes to watch it. Ideally, if they don't reply yes, some of them still jump on the appointment, so it's fine. But just makes them kind of interact a bit more. Then it'll wait 3 hours before the appointment, send them a text, and then 1 hour before, send them email, text, same thing with a 5 minute, and then remove from the workflow. So pretty simple there. Change this up to your niche, your business name, all this, like that's self-explanatory. Only other thing you need to kind of just know when in the automations part is you can go up to settings here. So you can allow re-entries. So this is like if the same person wants to opt in twice, you can allow that. Or if they try to opt in, it just won't go through the automation at all. Or if they stop on a response, which we don't want, some automations you do, you can click that. So like, and if they respond anytime throughout this workflow, so let's say it's waiting in the 24-hour mark, they respond to like this text, then it just it would just exit them from the automation. I don't do that here, but that's helpful for some automations. Everything else is fine there. Enrollment history, and this is kind of like the execution logs, all that is pretty self-explanatory. So you can just keep that there. So quickly click save, go back to workflows, and I'm going to quickly explain what the AI automations are so you have an idea. Essentially, this is a big opt-in, kind of like just a funnel, right? So the whole goal with this Air.ai is, I have a whole module on this. I'm going to explain more there. But for now, just think of it as we've got a bunch of just opt-in triggers that'll go through. So let's say they opt in from an ad or content or a lead form on Facebook, whatever it is. It's going to add them a tag with Air lead. Also create an opportunity. Then once that tag is added, it'll go through this automation, which is essentially right here, Air lead, and then a bunch of calls. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing with this, and this is why me explaining it through the whole Air section will make a lot more sense. But essentially, this is how we call leads that opt in from an ad, and then it immediately triggers the AI to call them and then book them into a call if they haven't already. So that's kind of what this is for. I'm not going to go crazy in depth in this because we've got a section for it, but that's that. Hope that kind of makes sense. So that's it as far as the automations go and everything there. Overall, that's really just what I use. You obviously know how to edit them to yourself now, make it, the right business name, all that, or it's going to be setting as like a parenthesis biz name that just wouldn't make sense. And then obviously Air.ai automations, just that's going to make more sense after you keep watching. So tasks after this video is finish your automations and workflows. Make sure they're all kind of accustomed to you. Look over everything, make sure you've built and everything's good so far. You built a bunch of funnels, you've built everything there. So like, obviously congrats, like you've gone through the whole section 1. Now you're pretty much set to just pick a niche, start acquiring clients, and then start fulfilling. Which obviously watching the next videos will be a lot of help for that. But you've built the main foundations, so this is good. Now it's just really going into your niche and everything there. So yeah, section 1's done. I'll see you guys in section 2. Hopefully this all made sense. And if not, make sure, if ask me questions if possible in the group or on Discord or just anywhere I'm at. Feel free to reach out. I'll try to reach back out. And yeah, so hope this helps. I'll see you guys in section 2. All right, so welcome to section 2 in the whole series and course of how to sell AI. This is going to be going over the basics plus the offer. So this is going to be a quick video just showing you what the next videos will actually entail. So really quickly, we can go here. Overview, which is going to be your niche, really important, probably the most important out of all this is what industry are you going to target. Your service, which is actually what you're going to provide these people. So these are going to be the videos I'm going to cover very shortly. So these are very, very important. Service, niche, probably top 2 things. Your offer, so how are you going to present it to them? What's going to make them actually want to say yes? And I'm going to go through all kind of what I use personally so you guys can really just replicate kind of what I did. Take bits and pieces from what I did and then just actually put it into your own and everything like that. And also going to talk about your mindset, which is kind of just might sound like a wishy-washy thing, but actually was probably one of the biggest things for me when I was trying to scale a business and even the AI business. Super, super important, which is where is your head at? What should you be focusing on? And what is the power behind that? So those are the main really 4 important things we're going to cover. So pretty simple there. Nothing else after this, so go ahead over, watch the videos. This is just a quick introduction video, and I'll see you there. All right, so welcome to section 2, going over your niche. So one of the most important things, and you'll find this out if you're not already familiar with the industry you want to target or planning on targeting. This is going to be very crucial because a lot of what you're going to do over the next 6, 12 months, 2 years even, it's going to be very around your industry. So overview here is first, jump into a saturated niche. I'm going to go over just quickly what the tips I would use when thinking about this if you're not already sure in your head. If you don't even know what a niche is, just think of it as like, what is the industry you target? So for me, let's say I work with real estate agents, right? The real estate agents are my niche, or solar guys. That's my niche. Solar is my niche. Just think of it like the industry you target. And I say jump into a saturated niche because every niche is going to have problems. There's not one niche that's crazy good or one that's super bad. There are maybe ones that you can stay away from, which maybe are just so small you can't get results for, or things like that. Just jump into something saturated, something that a bunch of people are in, because then it's already proof of concept that it's going to work, just because other people are doing it. And this can be around like advertising, so like a bunch of people who offer advertising, stuff like that, because you're kind of like a competitor to them, right? So play to your strengths and your interests. So for me, if family members are real estate agents or things like that, you could go towards that direction. Just play to whatever you would resonate with. So if you like going to the gym, if you like working out, that's maybe something you do. Really just trying to think of like, what is it that resonates with you and makes you like, hey, I actually know something about this niche, because you're going to have to sell to these people. And that's like one of the big things is you need to really spend your time really thinking about, hey, these people need this. How can I help them? And always speaking their language is important. Like with real estate agents, you got to kind of know how to speak with them. Like, what is a referral? What is, a FSBO? What is all this stuff, these terminologies? You're going to just learn that over time, obviously. So if you don't know anything about any niche, just pick one. Just look at top 10 niches on YouTube. Go through the first 5. Which one do you want to jump into? Great. Now, I will say when it comes to selling AI, there are niches that are better than others. So like your job, depending on what you're going to sell, and we're going to get into this soon, is what is the problem you're solving? Because for, let's say the AI, let's say you're offering like AI callers. you need to be solving, a niche that they hire a lot of call centers or stuff like that, like Solar Guys, perfect example. If you're offering AI callers to, like, let's say dog trainers or something like that, that's just stupid, right? Like, they most likely don't need that unless you're, like, trying to fulfill the role of their front desk, right? So, which some of them don't have. So just think about that for a second. Really do some thinking when it comes to that. And my advice really is, like, when I did this, I thought of, okay, what are the industries I was going to go in? So I'm offering AI callers. So what is the industries that use them the most? Solar Guys. There's a lot of Solar Guys, that advertising agencies in solar, bunch of stuff around solar. And I'm not saying go solar, by the way. I'm just giving you what I thought through. So Solar Guys, they pay a lot of call centers, a lot of marketing agencies, so good there. So I know my service will be of value. Okay, how many people are in the niche? You want to be in a niche where there's a lot of people. Like, I was talking to someone who wants to go into funeral homes, right? That might be a lot harder because there's not many people to target with that. Solar Guys, there's a bunch of solar owners, same as real estate agents. There's millions of realtors in the U.S., depending on where you're targeting. So really just play this as far as, like, when it goes to when you go into your market, you want to really be confident of, like, okay, I solved their problem, I have enough people to target, and then eventually we're going to go into sort of how to set up ads to actually target them, which is a fairly simple, easy process. So obviously we'll go over that and everything. So yeah, that's my quick little advice here. Tasks today, and just after you watch this video, pick a niche. Don't wait like a loser. Okay, I see so many people that wait and they wait and they wait and they're stuck in, like, analysis paralysis. They don't know what to do, and they just think for months and months and months. You're gonna waste your time. Okay, you're better off just going to the first niche that pops in your head now. Maybe a little bit of thinking behind it, but even niches I've explained in this videos, great niches, except the funeral homes or dog trainers. They're great niches, right? Like, you can jump into them tomorrow. You can struggle. You can go a few months with them, maybe not see anything, switch to something else if you want, right? But just pick something. You're going to be much farther ahead than if you just wait around. And use ChatGPT if needed, because ChatGPT is just one of those resources you can have that's just at your disposal that you can use for help. And it's one of the things I'd use, right? Like, I used that when it came to solar. I asked questions about what do they need here? What do they need there? And really just overall, how can I help give them the best product? And obviously on the sales process, you're going to have to sell them. So what is going to be most inclined that I offer them that they're going to say yes to, right? So overall, let me move my head here. Do some market research and see if AI callers, AI implementation would help your niche, right? Depends on what route you take with this. AI is just, like, I'm going to rant about this in my all the videos, but it's just so much easier to sell because people are so afraid of, like, AI taking over. So if you're installing AI in their business, that almost puts them at ease, right? And, like, they want your product probably more than you want to sell them some of the time. And that's what I've experienced. So kind of just a cool thing there. Do your research. Pretty much just do these 3 tasks here. I would say give this, I mean, if you want to think of niches, I guess think for a day. Like, honestly, this might sound crazy, but don't think long. Use ChatGPT, like I said. Do some quick market research, and you'll be good to go. So, yeah, that's what I have to say as picking a niche. Head over to the next video, and you'll learn more about whatever I cover, revolving around what you're going to offer these people, like your service and stuff, like AI callers, AI implementation, anything like that. So, yeah, hope this helps. See you guys in the next one. All right, so welcome to your service. What are you going to be serving these people with? What is your actual service to them, and why are they going to pay you a bunch of money? So really quickly, overview of this video is going to be obviously your service. What are you going to provide to them? Product market fit, and what I'm doing now. So you just get full insight into what I'm doing. So it's just easy for you. So when it comes to your service, the best way I can put this is you're going to be selling something related to AI, right? And what I recommend doing is if you're going to go to one of these bigger niches where they already need lead gen, okay, and then they need leads called, right? Because they have to have these leads actually show into appointments. One of the big things is you can either have Air.ai, which I have a whole section on in this course about how to use it. And that's what I'm selling right now, currently, is I'm making this video. In the past, I don't know how many days, but about a month, maybe a month and a half, it's been collected over like 35, almost 40K of just selling Air. So Air is great. It's one of the things I recommend doing. But you can also pair it with things, right? Air's an AI caller. Air.ai, if you're not familiar with it, it's just an AI caller, and essentially it can call a bunch of leads. It's just AI, and it does its thing, right? It can book people into appointments. So that's why it's really key for them, because first of all, they pay you once, it's cheap. So when it comes to your offer, like I was just explaining in the other video, is you want to have your offer that's something that's different, that's expensive up front ideally, and then normally they don't have to pay any monthly retainers after that unless they want like additional support. So let me just give you the context of what I'm doing. Is with these solar business owners, I'll build Air.ai for them that can call their leads, call any lead lists that they have, and when they have ads running, all the leads that come through the ads will have the AI call them. Okay, so we build out the bot that does that. Once the bot is built out, we can also upsell them on things. So hey, look, if you don't have ads up already, let's just say you have a media buyer. That's what we have. We have a media buyer that costs us maybe $200 per client, and the media buyer will do all your ads. You know how much we charge those solar guys? Charge them about 1.5, 2K per month to just, actually for our service fee to do ads on top of the AI build out. For right now, the AI build out around 5 to 6K. Okay, and then we have ads that are 2K a month on top of that. And then obviously if they want extra support with the AI, that's what we give them, like a 2-month time period where they get support with us for the AI. If they want ads, that's obviously separate. And then we also, after those 2 months, if they're like, hey, I still need help with the AI, or I want your guys' support, okay, it's $500 per month. You can just stack a ton of money on top of this with really just what you do. So again, when it comes to your service, Air.ai is great. That's what I'm doing, just so you have some context. But look, it could be anything, okay? AI can make videos now. It can make images now. It can do so many things. And there's one of them is Be Human. Be Human it's called BE Human, right? And what it does is essentially, from my knowledge, is it gets an idea of who you are, your face, everything like that, what you look like, and you record some videos. And let's say you have a client comes in and a client, gets closed. You can have your Be Human bot set up to where it makes an AI video of you. So let's say you have some pre-recorded videos and then someone closes. You're going to send them a video that says, hey, Taylor, or hey, whatever the name is, and it will be literally you saying their client's name in the video. And obviously you didn't record that video. It was all AI that did that. So Be Human's great. You can set that up for people. You can just show them, hey, what is Be Human, and how can I use it? So that's a pretty good one to use. I would actually recommend that. And then I would just say, look, do your research when it comes to AI. When you say AI, you could technically say Facebook ads too, because Facebook ads algorithm, all that is AI. Okay, so put a spin on things, please, because you're gonna make a lot more money doing it, because people want AI, right? That's the name of the game right now in this day and age. They want to have things that are just future proof in a way, right? Because they always hear AI is gonna take over the future, right? So how is their business gonna have that characteristic of taking over the market, right? That's what I'd recommend. Air, great. Be Human, good idea. And then just do your research online. I'm not going to be the guru here and list down 100 AI, tools and stuff. I'm giving you what I've done, what I've seen, what I've used. And then obviously you do your research on top of that. You can add things on. I like to keep offers pretty small and just condensed, and not too much fluff on it. So that's why I have Air. We bid that out for them. We'll build their agent for $5-6 grand. And then we've got ads on top of that, which we've got a media buyer doing that for, 20% of what they actually pay me, or 25%. So yeah, here are you guys' tasks after this video. Define your service, really understand what you're going to be offering to people. Like I said in my offer video, make it a front end offer that's clean. Make the back end, try to make it as clean as possible. Innovate, not copy. I've given you here exactly what I do, what I've made a bunch of money with. But obviously do your own due diligence and do what you want to do. Just because I, did it and I found success with it, doesn't mean you're going to have success with it. I've been doing the marketing stuff for over a year now. Not a crazy long time, but I've been in the online business agency space realm for over a year now. So it's going to take you some time. Okay. I would just say innovate, and you'll be kind of the master in your own realm. Because if you just copy, you're just a competitor to me, and I already have the testimonials, the clients, the salespeople. It's just not worth it. Right. So yeah. And then obviously watch the next video. My face is in the way of crafting your offer, and that'll help you out a lot when it comes to actually doing everything. So yeah, hope this helps, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, so welcome to your offer. How are you going to make a good offer so people want to say yes to your product? It's a no-brainer, just an easy, quick yes. And then you get paid, you get your money, and you're happy. So really quickly, overview of what I'm going to be talking about is this needs to be extremely different. I don't like having an offer that everyone else has. You can run it, you can test it. Just something I'd stay away from because they get hammered that same offer. So whatever's in your niche, so like in real estate, if you've got this many deals guaranteed, you can test it. I wouldn't do it just because so many people are doing it. The guys you're going to be talking to, the realtors, whoever, or whatever your niche is, right? I'm using them as an example. They've heard this offer many times. You're competing on essentially price and yourself. Those are the only things you're competing on. And really, you want to just compete on maybe a bit of yourself and then obviously your product. You don't want to have people just price shopping. So have an extremely different offer. Say using AI. This is one of the things I used that was it just made it so much easier because then these people knew when they came in is like, oh, okay, he's offering AI. That's pretty cool. I want that, right? If you offer just regular, we will get you deals this way, or we'll just get you this many deals. Okay, you can do that. I would say test these. I liked saying, hey, get 10 deals per month using AI with our solution or something like that, right? Like you can do that. Whatever the desire is of your niche, go something about that. I would just include using AI. That's my point. You can add some guarantees. So on the back end, so I wouldn't add guarantees maybe on the front end. You can, like when I was in real estate, I guarantee them 10 listing appointments or they don't pay. And what that meant, and I'll just break that down for you really quick, is they either get 10 appointments with people who are interested in selling their home or they don't pay me, meaning they've already paid me this amount. And then if I don't get them that 10 within the first, 6 months, 4 months, then they don't pay me after that. I'll do it for them for free. Now I can tell you that never actually happened. And there were some clients that didn't get that, but they just didn't want to even do anything. That was when I was a bit newer when it came to the marketing and stuff for realtors. But the guarantees just gives them sort of that security in the sales process, which you want to have them have because they need security. They need trust in you. And if you're going to put on writing, okay, we'll guarantee you this. And if we don't hit that, we won't have you pay us anymore. After those months, we'll just work for free until we hit that number of 10 listing appointments or whatever it is. Then it makes it secure on your end. You're not paying them back or anything like that. And overall, it just gives you a lot more security in the sales process, as well as them, right? So they want it too, you want it, and it's kind of just a double win, right? So tasks on this quick short video is make your offer good and make it clear and easy to read. I don't like reading offers that are 2 sentences long. Make it like super quick. We will get you 5 deals in 20 days with our AI solution or something like that, right? Like that's totally acceptable. You can do that and it's going to work fine. I also like to have, like, again, I said this in my last video, is have ChatGPT give you feedback and suggestions. Really, really big lever you can pull just using its big knowledge base. You can just have it shoot it a bunch of questions and you can kind of just go from there and really just ask it whatever you want when it comes to your offer. Make it better. Sometimes it's not, but of course, it'll do the best it can. So yeah, hope this quick video helps. Obviously, go into this thinking it's going to take a couple of tries to actually make a really, really good offer that the market wants. But that's why you split test. So you can just test different offers. 1 week you test this, or maybe you give like a 3-week span for each offer, depending on which offer performs the best. And if you're getting results with it, stay with it. So yeah, hopefully this helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, so welcome to the mindset video inside of section 2. And I'm just going to be straight up front with you in this video. I'm not going to give you some guru type BS you've probably already heard before on the internet. I'm strictly just going to tell you what's helped me and what I've seen like an overall theme that, successful people have taken with them. And I'm just going to give you the kind of key nuggets here when you go along this, journey, right? So biggest thing I would say is give yourself a good time horizon. I don't mean give yourself 3 years, 4 years to hit 10K a month. Okay, right? Let's say that's your goal. Give yourself 9 months. I would say 9, 12 months. Give yourself about that. And I don't mean give yourself that long so then you can just slack off for a lot of it. I don't mean that. I mean give yourself a time horizon so you just don't beat yourself down if you don't hit it, right? And, if you can hit 10K in, let's say 4 months, then great. You've surpassed your goal crazy. Like you've killed it. cut it in half, right? But the biggest thing I see is I see a lot of people who set, okay, let's say 10K per month in 3 months. I've seen people do it. It's just not often I see it, right? And that's not why I'm going to say it's a good expectation to have in your head. You can say you're going to hit it tomorrow or the next day, whatever, just as your mind, depends how your mind works, right? I've just seen this. Give yourself a good time horizon. Don't beat yourself up. I see a lot of people go 3 months. They set themselves 10K per month goal. But then they go those 3 months and they half-ass it, and then they wonder after those 3 months what happened, and then they just quit, right? So don't be that person that sets yourself this small goal, and then you quit because you're pissed or whatever, and then you go back to your job, which is just probably not where you want to be, at least for most of you who watch this. Because for me personally, I can give you context and you can just see into my brain for a second. Is this stuff is fun. This stuff is super fun. It's so leveraged because I have people doing the sales, I have people running my ads, I have people doing this stuff, right? And you're gonna get there eventually. You gotta kind of go through the pain and the struggle to get there. It's not all sunshine and rainbow for me, for sure, but things are more leveraged. A job is quite the opposite of that, right? So biggest thing I'd say is give yourself the time horizon. And I'm also just gonna touch on this for a second. You've heard this before, but put your health first, okay? Because if you're gonna have, I don't know, you're gonna see millionaires who are fat, you're gonna see millionaires who are ripped, you're gonna see it all, right? But what I've seen is you're just putting more cards in your favor if you are healthy and if you are eating the right foods, if you are fit, right? Those type of things will just give you more energy and allow you to do more, because all business is competition, right? So how many cards you can stack in your favor, you're going to go a long way with it, right? So that's ultimately what I'm saying here. I'm not going to go on a super long tangent about how health and fitness is important, but it is. And I'd put that almost first, if I would put that first, actually, because better fitness, ideally better business, right? So yeah, hope this quick video helps as far as mindset goes. This is just something I would tell back to my younger self, but I had this in my younger self. I knew that fitness was important, and I knew to give myself a time horizon. I didn't close anyone for 6 months, 7 months, and that was just free trials I closed after those 7 months. So it takes time, so don't beat yourself up if it's super long. You'll get there eventually, and yeah. So that was the last video in section 2. I'll see you guys in the next one, and we'll go over everything there. Okay, so welcome to the client acquisition section in section 3. This is going to be a very, very important section to go through, because if you don't have clients, you don't have a business, okay? So let's quickly go into what I'm going to cover in this section, so it's super easy and simple. So first, we're going to go over paid ads. Paid ads, the best possible way you can be acquiring clients. This is where you're going to get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of appointments. This is what all the big agencies, this is what I use, even though I don't have the $1 million a month agency, but this is what they use. Pay for attention and you convert it. Next is going to be organic content. So organic content is extremely underrated. I don't know why more people don't use it. I'm going to show you some examples in that video of just some literal case studies I've seen this work with just content you post on YouTube or on Instagram, whatever it is, that you just get a bunch of deals from. And then you've also got outreach, which is another big portion as well, which is manual outreach. Not a big fan. I'm going to go over some kind of just hard truths in just a second of actual outreach, but the main thing I would say here is you're looking at these 3. I'm going to cover all 3 of them. Is with paid ads, you're going to scale very, very, very quick, right? Organic content is kind of one of those things that's it's going to build up over time. It's like a snowball effect. And then outreach, I'm going to be completely honest with everyone watching right here. Emails, IGDMs, this works. But if you want me to be honest with you, you're much better off getting a job or somehow getting some money, working for some money, and then spending that money on ads, because you're going to slave a lot of time with outreach and you won't really see much traction for a bit. For most people, at least. A lot of people quit because that process is so bad. Paid ads is essentially steroids for your agency. You go hit the ground running and you get a bunch of appointments, okay? So if I have advice to you going before watching this section is if you have, I don't like to put a dollar amount on it, but if you have about $750, even $500, but ideally $1,000 to be safe, stored away, you can convert, you can close clients, paying clients even, very, very quickly. If you're going to go the outreach route, it's going to be a lot longer. It's going to be a bit harder. And then organic content is completely free. So if you don't have a lot of money, I would actually opt into this. But you're going to have time in your day to do regular outreach as well. So up to you. I just recommend doing paid ads with organic content. It's going to be a complete game changer. Organic content is the same reason you're watching this now. So again, it's very powerful. So I'm going to go into these in these videos, and I'll see you guys in those videos. Okay, so welcome to the section 3 paid ads video. This is going to be probably your favorite video out of this entire course because it's going to save you a lot of time, and you're going to have appointments on your calendar pretty much on autopilot comparably for a very cheap cost. So really quickly, I'm going to play a video that I uploaded recently on my YouTube that is explaining A to Z how I set up my ad campaigns. And if you've already ran ads before, it's going to be no difference than what you've probably already seen, except a couple things that I like to set up as main lead magnets to get people through. So one thing I would say while you watch this is going to be more gauged for like a local business, real estate agency or whatever it is. Since you're selling AI, keep in mind, I like to always have in the title, like I said in a previous video, say you're selling AI, or say AI, have AI somewhere of implementing AI or whatever it is into these businesses. They love it, so do that. And then I also like to have the lead magnets of what I'm going to show in this video of like, you've got your pay-per-close or pay-per-deal, just getting a bunch of people through. Quality sometimes isn't the highest, but if you're wanting to get clients quick and a bunch of appointments quick, you've got some time to take calls, this is going to be for you. Otherwise, if you want more quality, obviously switch things up a little bit in the ad. It'll be easy. And yeah, so I'll play this video now. Just watch it until the end, and you're going to get a good grasp of actually how to run ads pretty much A to Z and get appointments on your calendar as soon as tomorrow. So yeah, watch it and see you guys then. Okay, so now that we're in our Facebook Business Manager and our Ads Manager, if you don't have this already set up, you can set one up really quickly. You can just make an ad account. That's where I'm at here. It should look like this as I'm recording this in March of 2024. This is what it looks like. So really quickly, I'm going to just go through the A to Z process of what I do, how I create my campaigns, so you can kind of just copy it no matter what niche you're in. So first, we can go create up here in the top left for campaign. Just click leads, continue. I like to do a manual leads campaign. And then you can rename these whatever you want. I always just make a campaign. That's fine. That's fine. Then when we go to the ad set level, so there's 3 levels if you're not familiar. There's always campaign, there's ad sets under those campaigns, and then there's ads under those ad sets. So you can rename these whatever you want. So I'll just call it ad set number 1. Okay, we're going to have this on instant forms. You can land people to landing pages just through clicking the website. There's some more stuff you have to set up with like a pixel and stuff like that. Not crazy needed. Actually, I found a lot better results overall, even just speaking with others with just regular instant forms. So that should be fine there. Scroll all the way down. When it comes to budget, I always like to have 2 separate ad sets. One that has some interests and the other is just open. It has no interests, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But let's say you're spending $40 per day total. Okay, so you can leave this at 20 because we're going to have another one at 20. That's fine. That is good here. We can scroll down. Everything else is good there. So now we can go to the ad level. So under the ad sets, we can call this ad number 1 and scroll down a bit more. So main key things here is there's obviously you've got your media, which is like the regular ad that you're going to see. So that's the creative. You've got your primary text, which is the copy, and then you've got your headline, obviously the headline of the ad, and then you've got a description, which is kind of just there. I think it's optional. You don't even really have to do it. So I like to always have my call to action as learn more, just what I've found is best. I like that. And then we'll kind of go into how to make this, the primary text, headline, description, really, really easy. This is what I do, and just I'm going to show you kind of how I do it. Takes a couple seconds. It doesn't even have to actually go in and actually make things. It's very quick. It's very simple. But first, we're going to make a lead form or an instant form. So we can click form. You can title it whatever you would like. I'm not going to title it. More volume is fine. Then we can click use image from your ad. So this is kind of just like the background of the lead form. I'll move my face here. And then we got a headline right here. Honestly, I don't even like having a greeting. I don't like that at all. I just get rid of it. And then you've got your questions, which is very, very simple. So you can say, enter in your info below so we can text you how this program works. Okay, and I like to do this simply because then there's some sort of incentive of them actually opting in. And I like to capitalize text just so they know, okay, this is why we're actually getting the phone number, right? So get rid of these. I like to add first name as 1, then last name, then we can add phone number, and then right after that will be email. Cool. So these are the 4 kind of things we're going to get from them. Most important things is the phone, email, and then obviously their name. Next is the privacy policy. Honestly, you can do whatever link you want. You don't really have to have anything here. You can just do A. Okay, this doesn't matter. Privacy policy is just not a thing you even have to worry about. If you have one, great. You can link it here. For this case, just me recording it. You don't have to have this. You can do what I have here if you want. It's fine. And then here's where it gets important. Okay, this is the most important part of actually getting the information of the leads, because now you can have like another call to action. Okay, and then right here in the headline, I like to always put one more step left. Okay, and what this is going to be is, if you have a website that has a calendar link, great. If you don't, just quickly make a Calendly and put a link here. I'll show you what this means in a second. So in the description of this is going to be the last step, so just you see what I'm actually talking about. So when someone clicks on your ad and clicks learn more, this is what they're going to get. So they're going to see this, they'll fill out their information, then they'll go to this step. And this will be the last step before they actually submit the form. And what this will be is essentially just redirecting them to your calendar. And this is how people book in with you automatically. Obviously, there's going to be people that opt in that don't actually book a call here at the end. That's why you call them, you do some triaging, but that's pretty easy. So the description here is, I like to put click lock spot below and get this limited offer now. Okay, that's exactly how I do this, just what I found is best. So down here, the call to action text is going to be lock spot. And then what you'll put right here is the link to the website or your Calendly link, whatever, how they can book in with you. This is just pretty much automatic, so they just go straight to that. This is what I found is just really, really easy. And then obviously, now that that's done, when you have that there, then you're going to check over everything, make sure all the slides look good. So great, this looks good, good, and good. Great, so now you have lock spot down here, and then you can just click create form, and then you're good. Now we'll go into kind of how we actually make the creative in the ad. So once you have your lead form connected right here, we've got big media section. We can either add images, videos, whatever it is. How do we add them? I'm going to show you what I use. So what I use is Canva. You can actually have the free version. It's simple. I pay for it. It's like $10 a month or something. But it totally works fine with free. And I'm going to show you the most simple ad you're ever going to see, but it converts like crazy. So I like to just do, you can click create design over here. Once you're in here, custom size 600 by 600, click create. Great. Now that we're here, I like to just do this. So you have a heading right here, and then I like to do, so let's, whatever niche you're in, whatever businesses you're serving, I like to just do I'll do real estate agents as an example, state agents. Okay, so this is what we do here. Make this smaller, just like that. Great. And then I like to underline, make this, we can make it red. Great. And then I also like to just change the actual font of this. So League Spartan is great. This is a great font to use, free. So once you have this top line, what you can do is just click Control C and then copy this right down below here. And really quickly, I'm gonna quickly just skip until I just make it. But all you're gonna put here is, I like to just do this as we will get you, and then whatever the desire is. So real estate agents, they want listings. We will get you listing opportunities for you for free, or listing opportunities for free. That's what I'm going to put here, and I'm going to skip right until I'm done putting that there. Okay, once we have this here, I like to just quickly change up some fonts. Boom. We can make this, I'm going to make it black, and then I like to do listing. So they want listing. We can make this red. And then we can make for free down here red as well, just like that. And then we can also just make this all bigger, so like this. We can expand it a bit right there, just like this. Okay, cool. That's what I like to do right there. So, and you can also underline these if you want. I'm not going to underline them here. But at the bottom, this is where it gets really important. So this is obviously depending on your offer. If you're doing free trials, this is going to be your number way of doing things. So just put down here, just pay per deal. Okay, and you're probably asking, why would I put this here? It's my offer is a pay per deal or whatever. So it depends on how many people you want to get through, but you can get a lot more people through an offer like this on the front end of just like pay per deal, like this, rather than having a very, very, very boring offer like we'll guarantee you this, we'll guarantee you that. You can do it, it works, but this is what's been working for me way, way better. You're going to get super cheap leads and you're going to get a bunch of calls. Okay, that's the whole goal of this. So what you can do here is you can just click here and then you can download it, download this to your computer, and then we're going to head back over to Facebook. Okay, so now that I've clicked add image, I'm going to click next right here. This is fine. And then right here, we can just quickly, I don't like to have music on and all this stuff, relevant comments or anything like that. But you can just have, I guess the rest is fine. Yeah, the rest is fine. So I would just turn off music. It's not needed, but the rest is good. So now you can click done. Perfect. Okay, so this is what the ad will look like. Boom, like this. So you got to just put yourself in like the realtor's shoes for a second. How does this look? This looks like something if I was a realtor I'd click on, right? Because that is very, very intriguing. Even if you running like more of like a offer with like a guarantee on the back end and stuff, this is how you're going to get a bunch of calls for cheap starting. If you have a lot more budget, you can make this a guarantee or whatever it is, however unique your offer is. But if you're newer or you just want a bunch of calls, this is how you do it. Real estate agents is just an example, but I like doing it this way. So next is actually having the primary text. How do we get this? Essentially, the best way I can put this is copy someone else, but not fully copy, just copy most of it. And the only reason I say that is you're going to find much, much better results with people who have already proven the primary text, the headline, everything like that, than, you just trying to test, and you probably don't have the money to just spend thousands and thousands of dollars a day to really just find the correct things to put. So best thing to do is open a new tab and go to Facebook Ads Library. I'm going to quickly go over there. You'll just click on the first link, Facebook Ad Library, and you can look at all the ads in the Facebook Marketplace pretty much just for free. So let's quickly go there. Okay, now that I'm here, first thing you can do is just click all ads, and then next, if you know big agencies in the space that are in whatever niche, real estate or solar, whatever niche you're in, if you know agencies, type their name here. So you can do whatever you want there, or you could just look up real estate agent leads. Okay, you can type all this sort of stuff up. You're going to find ads that have been up, and ideally the ads that have been up for the longest that you can see here. So you can see started running in March of 2024. So that is literally like 7 days ago, right? Like we ideally don't want to put that, but if we scroll down like December, okay, these are getting a bit better. Ideally, your best bet is going to be finding agencies who already have copy. So I'm going to quickly just show it's Air.ai, very known real estate agency out there. Just what their ads manager looks like, so you can kind of just take inspiration. Okay, so great. Now that we're looking at their page, so this is how many ads they have up. You can see right here. Right here, if you want to run videos, I'll show you in a minute just how I would run videos and how I did at the start. So great, you can see their copy right here. This is what it looks like. So this is not going to be all applicable to you since you probably haven't served 272 real estate agents before. Take inspiration from this, right? This is the whole goal. There's a bunch of agencies out there. You can go through this, check what's actually, you would like, things like that. So if you click right here, you can see their headlines. So the system that gets results, ... finally. Great. So these are also things that you can put into yours and just take inspiration from. You can look at a bunch of different agencies out there, implement it to yours. So yeah, that's essentially how you do it. So now that you've copied all your primary text over, you've got your headline here from just inspiration you took from others. What you can do right here is for the description, you don't really have to have much, but I always like to do click, learn more with the emoji of just going to the right. Boom. I like this emoji just as the description, so that's what it's going to look like down there. So click, learn more. Everything else is fine. So now your ad should have, when you click expand, this is what it's going to look like to everyone that views it. So you've got your headline right here, you've got your description, and then you've got all your copy. I didn't paste any copy, but that's what it looks like. So now that you've done that, you can add a bunch of different variants in Canva if you would like. So right here, you see this, you can, instead of it being, we will get you listing opportunities for free. We'll get you buyer opportunities for free, or just, you can mix stuff up, download a bunch of them, and then what I like to do is go back over. You can quickly duplicate like this. I'll show you. And then you can add another variant of your ad right here. So you just click delete and then add image, upload the new one, and kind of just test. Just split test what works, what you think would be good, and then Facebook will give you the data. Now, the last thing we need to do before launching it is quickly going over here to duplicate. So we're going to quickly duplicate this ad set because we want to be spending $40 a day. This one's spending at $20. We got to get the other one there too. And the reason we're doing this is simply because we want to have interest targeting. So right here, we'll go right here, we'll change this. And then right here, I like to just switch to original audience, use it. They're going to give you a bunch of warnings and stuff. Don't worry about it. And then next, age. Normally realtors that have money are not 18, so you can kind of just switch this. So maybe make it like 23. Also, over here is you can switch that here as well. Actually, no, I'm wrong. So you can only do it when you have the original audience. So when you're here, you want to click detail targeting. You're going to edit that, and then you're going to do real estate agent. Okay, and I don't like to add a bunch of interests. You always want to click interests, ideally not job titles or anything like that, employers, just interests. So right here, click that. Maybe you can add like 2 or 3. So real estate agent. And that's pretty much that. So you can click this down here. You can also see the audience size. So you can see right here on the right, which is right there. Below 1,000, that's not ideal. You want to have pretty big audiences. So we'll just keep it at this for now. I'm sure you could look up like broker and other things like that in real estate agents. But for your niche, it's going to be different. Just make sure your audience size is good. So this is a lot of people out there. And always have this box checked down here just because it's going to expand beyond whatever you put in this little interest thing right here. So that's pretty much it. You've made all your ads, you've made all your copy, you've made your lead forms, you've added your little booking link at the end of the lead form, and you're pretty much good to go. So obviously if you're spending $30 a day or anything like that, you would make this just 15 and then other one 15 as well. And then yeah, you can click publish, watch leads come through, and this is how I've been booking a bunch of appointments recently, and it's worked great. So this is what took me many months to figure out, struggling, and it sounds super simple because it is, but this is what a lot of people should start tomorrow. They'll get appointments through, they'll see traction, and then they'll actually grow their business. So yeah, hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, so welcome to the organic content section inside of section 3. This is going to be a super underrated video, I think, personally. This is a very effective way to get clients, and for free and for easy. So let me quickly show you what I mean by this. So first, defining the right channel for your audience is very important, right? If you're speaking to a bunch of old realtors, they're probably not on TikTok, right? So and that kind of comes to explaining. So whatever niche you are in, please, think a bit behind where you're going to upload these for your actual best audience. Okay. Next is why you need to use organic content. Think long term, and what I did. So I'm going to go over these really quickly. Why you need to use organic content is pretty simple. Okay. And it ties in with the next section too, is thinking long term. Both of these tie hand in hand because the reason is your business is going to be a machine, right? And you want it to grow over time, just like a snowball. What content is essentially a snowball effect. The more content you have out there, I mean, you can look at Mr. Beast, you can look at these huge YouTubers. They've been doing it for a long time. It's compounded. It's the same thing with your business and what you upload on your channel. So, for example, I'm going to give you my situation. Is I have a business channel where I upload videos for my AI stuff. Okay, I had a video that got about 250 views, and that video made me roughly $15,000. Okay, reason being is because these people in my niche that were watching this, they see this and they're like, "This is something I want. This is interesting. It looks like the video was put at least somewhat well put together. No crazy edits or anything, but it was simple." And this is the whole point of me uploading this is free. This does not cost money to do. You can turn on a camera and you can just upload to YouTube. Obviously make some edits here and there, make it look good, hire a little guy on Fiverr who's $10 or something. All that's fine, right? But the whole goal is you want to just get a bunch of people when YouTube learns over time your actual audience to come to your channel and be like, great, because the people that book calls with you on your channel, I'm telling you, I had like 6 calls for my channel, closed 3 of them. Okay, all bookings that people have booked in for my channel. The reason is because they've consumed my content. They've trusted me. That's one of the biggest things you want in a sales process, because a lot of people, they don't buy because they don't trust you. When they watch my videos, it's the same reason why you're here. You've seen me enough to the point where, okay, I've progressed over time, and let me potentially learn something from this, right? It's the same thing. And this is what I did with my own channel, and then obviously this channel, my main personal brand channel as well. 100% recommend it. It's very underrated. It's free. Post something about your niche that's interesting. When it comes to AI, it's like a gold mine. Whatever service you provide, Air.ai or whatever, post about it in your niche. It's going to get big over time. Conversational AI, all that's going to get huge. And the first person that they see in their industry doing it is you. So you're going to be the direct go-to when it comes to this stuff. So hope this makes sense, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, so welcome to the outreach section inside of section 3. This video is probably one of my least favorite videos to film, and you'll see why in a minute. And this is going to hopefully save you a lot of time, okay? Because this is a trap I fell into personally, and if I did know this, what I'm going to explain here, I would have saved over 6 months, for sure, guaranteed. So let's go into what I mean. First, over here, when this would make sense, okay? When outreach and doing this would really make sense for you. Next would be best channels to use. So you've got Instagram, you've got email, you've got a bunch of different channels you can use. And then you've got split testing scripts. And then lastly, we've got the reality and why I don't recommend it. So I'm going to go from the top down. Is when this would make sense. Outreach makes sense if you live somewhere where you can't get a job, you don't really have any money, and you simply have a bunch of time on your hand and somehow you can't acquire any money, right? And that's the most simple way I can put it, because this is going to be a huge time endeavor for most people that do outreach. Some people just catch onto it immediately. They get calls, great. Most of the time, they don't, and that's why a lot of people quit. The agency space, most online businesses in general, this is the reason they quit. They can't get clients, they don't know how, and it's been a pain for them, right? So best channels to use is, it depends on your niche, right? So like real estate agents, they're everywhere on Instagram. They're even on TikTok, so that's a great place to reach them too. Honestly, as many places as possible. If you're talking to like roofers, they're probably not on, TikTok. Some of them are, I know that, but like Facebook, they're probably on there. Instagram, probably on there as well. So, and all of them have email, so email's pretty good, well-rounded. But anyways, split testing scripts is obviously just a part of the job. So when you do outreach, you want to be split testing different scripts. Okay, I got a conversion rate of this week, conversion rate of this the next week with this script. Compare, make it better and better and better, improve on it, and you'll get really good at it. And lastly is the reality and why I don't recommend it. So kind of like I was explaining earlier, this is a very long process. You're gonna spend a bunch of time doing it. Your best job, if you're listening to this and you're younger, get a job, get some way of acquiring money, and spend it on ads and do organic content. Those two will get you results 10, 15, probably 100 times quicker than this will. And I'm not going to give you the exact scripts and stuff to use because I simply don't even want you to do this route. This is like worst case scenario. If you have nothing and you really just have to sit on Instagram and IGDM, go do it. And there's a bunch of videos on YouTube and cold calling, a bunch of stuff out there. Like, you can do it 100%. And I'm not trying to completely say it's just a terrible idea, but for most people it is. For most people, there's a way for them to do it. There's a way for them to get a job. Some people just are too lazy to, but this is kind of where I'm at just in my headspace of this, because I've seen people quit. I've seen personal friends of mine quit because of this, okay? So I'm just warning you when it comes to this. You've either got a really strong mind and you can do this, and you just need to kind of fix your situation, or you can just speed up the process, run some ads, or just do content, right? If you focus on content, it takes some time. It's going to be a snowball effect, but it's free, okay? And that also works really well. So my advice to you and some tasks after this video is, if you decide to do this, is decide if this is right for you and what you should use. So like channels, scripts, make some stuff. ChatGPT will help you. And then 2, should be time block your calendar and keep things organized for outreach/booking calls. What I mean by this is if you're going to do outreach, you need time blocked every single day to do it, because you really want to have a leg up on others who get lazy and slack off. If you get lazy and slack off, this is a perfect reason why it's not for you, and this is why people quit. Okay, they're not consistent and they try for 5 days. I haven't gotten any results or calls or anything. I'm out. And that's the reality. So hopefully this makes sense. I don't mean to be this, mean guy that says this, but I want to actually look out for you when it comes to this, because I barely got through this phase of outreach, and I had some upper kind of advantages because I paid people for help, and ultimately just found a good way for manual outreach, which was eventually just email. So it works, just not recommended. I've done ads ever since I learned about ads was a thing, and it's been way better. So yeah, hope this makes sense. I'll see you guys in the next section, and hope this was at all valuable. All right, so welcome to section 4, which is the Air.ai walkthrough. This will pretty much just be A to Z, the basics of using Air.ai. So if you don't know what that is already, it's going to be the main part of your, service delivery if you're offering like conversational AI and everything like that. It's what I've been selling personally with my own AI business, and it's worked really well. So really quickly, I'm just going to go through the A to Z process of what we're going to cover in this section. So first, we're going to go over making an agent. So probably the most basic thing, a part of this is you've got to create the agent that's going to be calling all these leads or all these people with a certain objective, right? So we'll kind of go over how to make the script, all that sort of stuff there. We'll also connect to GHL or Go High Level, which should be pretty easy and simple because the snapshot that I gave already has everything you'll need when it comes to connecting things. So that should be pretty simple, pretty easy there. And then we're also going to connect Air to Twilio. So Air, just obviously you're going to be calling people, so the phone provider Twilio is what they use. If they update that at all in the near future, I'll make new videos and I'll kind of just replace that video. As of right now, they're using Twilio, so that's what it'll be, and you'll get your phone number, all that sort of stuff there. Then you'll call inbound leads, so the process to actually set that up. Again, that's going to be using mainly what I gave in the snapshot when it comes to just calling leads that come through ads or opt-in forms, whatever it is, so then you can book them into a call, right? Because that's going to be the whole goal of setting this up. Then we'll go over launching a campaign. So if you've got a big database of leads that have already opted in or whatever it is, we can just set up a campaign that's just going to hit them, and that's just going to be pretty easy when it comes to just booking a ton of appointments through that, and that's all going to be through Air, so that's pretty cool and simple as well. So the tasks after this video is just go through this section, consume it. It's going to be really easy to fulfill, and you get paid pretty well for it. For myself, I've been getting paid probably anywhere from 4 to even 9, 10K for this type of service, and it works really well. The fulfillment is easy, it works, it's going to keep getting better because it's AI, it's constantly learning, and you can charge pretty good bucks for it. So yeah, this is just going to be kind of how I do my fulfillment as well, so showing the insights of what we do just in my business. But yeah, that'll be it. So go through this section, consume some of the content, and you'll understand a better idea of how to use Air.ai with your service delivery. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next videos. All right, so in this video, we're going to go over how to make your agent inside of Air.ai and a couple other things as well. So let's quickly go into it. First, we're going to go on how to make certain agents. So there's different agents as far as customer service, sales, if you want to be giving 24-hour reminder calls or just basic sales calls or cold calls, whatever you want to call it. There's certain objectives you can go about, so we'll go over how to make those. Second, we'll go over how to make your scripts. So Air provides a bunch of scripts already, or you can just use ChatGPT or other methods as well and just manually import it there, which is pretty nice. How you test your agent, so you can actually just have it call your phone right there, and it works really well. So you can do that. And then fourth, how to make your knowledge base. So your Air.ai, your agent, won't know anything unless you have a knowledge base that explains a little bit about your business, and from there you'll be able to just give it a bunch of data so it can pull from it when it's on calls with prospects. So really quickly, I'm going to go over right into Air, just a brand new account, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Okay, so now that we're in Air, you made your account, you can make it really quickly. It's pretty easy. We're first going to make our agent. So for example, just in this case, I'm going to go over kind of 2 ways you can do it, just the 2 ways I use for my clients. So firstly, we'll click sales, and then we can just call it, we can call it testing agent. Okay, and then we'll maybe make this a sales agent. So the difference between sales, customer service, and other is other. You can use it like it says for like custom use cases. I don't recommend it. I've never even used it. So really I can't tell you too much about it, but I haven't really found it that useful. Customer service is useful when it comes to if you want 24 hours before your appointment or your client's appointments, however it's set up. When you build this for them, you can build them like 24-hour reminder calls that call the prospect who has the call with the company or you in 24 hours. And it will literally verify that they're going to show up. And then if they can't, it'll reschedule them according to available slots in your calendar. So really, really cool there. And then sales is just as simple as it sounds. So like, a cold call script or things like that, where you want to kind of just dive into them, what's been going on with them, their pain gaps, everything like that. And it'll kind of just take it from there and then eventually book them, sell them into booking a call with you if that's the objective. So you can make custom objectives, but for the most part, you're going to be just booking them in. So we're going to firstly test this. So right here, when you click Create Agent, you can click Advanced. For this case, I'm going to use Standard. And then we can have it magically generate using AI. Or if you just have your own script that you want to just import from either you've been cold calling before or you just have a script for your use case before, this is what you can do. For this case, I'm going to just show you what it looks like when you use AI. So we can click this. And we can use a proven template by Air. This is what I do. If you have call recordings, you can upload that and then it will use that script. Or, you have your own script. You just copy and paste it right there. This case, I'm going to just do this. And this is what I do for my clients, by the way, unless I'm just copying and pasting a script that have already been tested before, and it's just easy there. So really quickly, we have multiple scripts that they give us. So maybe like a customer service script, or a one-word script. So it goes like probes on one word they give. That's kind of like a pain point, and then it will probe on that. Go into their pain points here. So that's that. Or like an abandoned cart. So saw that you added something to your cart and just abandoned it. You can do that there. So for this case, we'll just go through the pain and desire gap script, which is pretty simple. Then we can have it pretty much just chat with me. So it'll make the script based on what I put here. So what is the name of the company? We'll go Carson LLC. And then you can say they opted in on a form online. We can go marketing. And then we kind of give it the offer. So again, I'm just giving like tests here, but this is going to be just really just what you want to do. Either this is your client's business or this is your business. It's going to make it for you. So we can quickly just go further. So industry, we help realtors with Facebook. Okay. So some pain points they have is they don't like cold calling or they don't like cold calling or door knocking. For realtors, door knocking, that's a problem in itself. Okay, what is the call to action at the end of your call? Yes, a demo. We can go strat. Just like that. Cool. So now what it's going to do is it's going to give me the whole script that I need when it comes to just making my own bot. And again, you can have ChatGPT make you scripts, or if you have scripts already, you can just manually import it. For this case, I'm just going to strictly just show you how to use their AI to make you a script. And they give you something that's been tested. Like there's certain words you probably want to stay away from that just don't work as well with the bot. So just keep that in mind that they're giving you, a script that should work and be compatible with their system. So cool. We can get rid of this. Great. So it'll start there. And what I like to do actually is edit this. So we can do hey prospect name and then like that, because it's gonna sound a bit weird. So this is the how all this kind of like the scripts and like the calls start is it goes, hey prospect name, and then eventually from there it'll go back into the script. So you know, you don't want it to be hey prospect name and then have hey prospect name again, like it'd be a little bit weird. And then I like to just delete this at the end, or I guess I missed that. Delete this, and then yeah, don't have it wait for prospect to respond at the end. Sometimes people don't reply, and every minute. So if you're not aware, what this costs is 17. So it costs about 12 cents per minute that it talks with someone if it's in the campaign. Most of what you're going to be doing, I'm assuming, is going to be inbound. So you're calling inbound leads, and when that's shot directly from high level or go high level with the snapshot I give and everything, that's going to be essentially separate, and I think it's about like 32 cents per minute that the agent talks with the person. But the cool part is if the call doesn't go over a minute, it won't charge you. So the calls have to go over a minute, and you know it's by person. So you know if you have 5 calls that are 10 seconds each, it won't charge you a cent. So that's kind of how it works. So ultimately, pretty simple here. You can edit the script how you want. I'm not going to board you here of how this works, but there's a bunch of voices you can choose from here. So they're constantly adding more. So I never even saw the Australian accent before. Pretty cool. So they've also getting Spanish, which is also really nice. So what I found best is doing either female standard American, female soft-spoken American, or just British accent male. Those 3 are generally your best bets when it comes to results, just what I've found. You can obviously just select on whatever you want, choose select, and then jump out. And then you can connect a knowledge base up here, which I'll get into in a minute. Otherwise, action, you can click here, book appointment, perfect. You can do live transfers, end call, or custom, so whatever you want. This case, it's just going to be book call, so pretty simple there. Post call notes, everything else is pretty simple. I don't need to cover anything else there. So that's going to be your kind of sales agent. So how this script works is it's going to be just saying, looks like you filled out a form online, you know, seeking more information. Do you recall that? Great. So yeah, here at Carson LLC, you know, on a recorded line, I have about 3 to 5 minutes to check in with you, see if there's any way we can assist you. So then it's kind of like, okay, you know, what got you interested in us online or whatever it is, if they came from like an ad, right? And then from there, it'll just go like, okay, so tell me a bit more about what they said. And then say, okay, great. So 12 months from now, and you've used our Facebook ad service. So ideally talking to a realtor or whatever your service is. And it turned out better than you have possibly imagined. What does that look like, right? So kind of just throwing them some questions. This is what the AI will talk with them about. And then once they, you know, go a bit deeper on what they said, when it comes to like problems or constraints that they've had, it will book them into a call, because then it'll be like, okay, great. You know, I think we can help you with this. And, you know, this is what we do. So, you know, if you have time, let's quickly jump on a 10, 15-minute call, or even like a 45, 1-hour call to have our team just help you. And that's what I've been using this for. And this is the same thing you're going to set up for your clients. So it's pretty simple there. You can click save right there, and that's good as far as the sales agent. So now when it comes to making like the 24-hour reminder bot, I'll quickly show you how to do that. So click out and then click new agent. And then we can go like, we can call it a name. So I'm just going to call it testing reminder bot. Okay, so that's how you do the sales one, what I just showed you. This one I'm going to show you is going to be how to do like a 24-hour call. So when someone comes in, 24 hours before their appointment, this bot is going to call them, and it's going to be like, hey, you know, just to remind you, we have a call in 24 hours. Just making sure you can make it, right? And then if they can, great, the call will end. Or if they can't, the bot will try to reschedule them. And it's programmed to, if they throw objections, it'll handle them, which is pretty cool. So you can click create agent, and then click objective based, and then you click standard, and then create from scratch. Okay, kind of a weird process you go through right there, but it's just easiest because then you can edit in this mode. There's some other modes you can edit in. This is the most simple one. So quickly delete all this, and then I'm going to import the exact script I use for my 24-hour reminder bot. So really quickly, I'm going to do that. And this is something you guys can copy, right, as well. So I'm going to import that, really cut until I do that, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, cool. So this is what the script looks like. Very simple. One thing I like to say when you make these scripts is try to keep them at least somewhat like short. Obviously, it can go long like the other script I was showing you, but don't have it too complex. Like, remember, this stuff is still fairly new, so you don't want to confuse the bot or have the bot confuse the person. So this is all it is. So it'll say, hey, first name. They'll reply. You'll be like, hey, this is Mike with Carson LLC. So I'm just calling to remind you that our call is in 24 hours. Just to check, you can still make it, right? And obviously, if they say no, it will try to get them, great, let's reschedule you. Or if they say no, I'm not interested, it'll handle objections. Or if it just says, yes, I'll be ready then, cool, we're looking forward to it. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye. That's it. You can choose whatever kind of voice you want here. Obviously, it's all preference. And the one thing I like to do when it comes to this reminder bot specifically, so this is a 24-hour reminder bot, so quickly just specify that. 24-hour reminder bot is sometimes the bot will go, the person might ask like, when is my appointment again? And then the bot like doesn't know, even though it says right here 24 hours. I like to add a separate knowledge base right here simply for this agent that just says, which I'll show you in a second, which is just like, the question is essentially, when is your appointment? And then the response is just 24 hours from now. So yeah, that's how you make your agents. And then how you talk with them is all you have to do is click talk with agent right here. And it'll ask you just for your name and your phone number, and then it'll call you. It'll call your personal phone number, and you can just chat with it. And you can see what's good about it, what's bad about it, and you can tweak it accordingly just because it's going to follow the script that's right here. And like, it's so cool. It's all AI. So yeah, that's that. Now let's quickly go over to how do we make like an actual knowledge base when it comes to this stuff. So we can click out of this, click knowledge base, and then right here it'll say create your new knowledge base. We'll click the sales bot knowledge base. Okay. So now we can add to our knowledge base either by just uploading a big document that has a bunch of questions if you have that for your business, or you can just quickly manually add FAQ cards, just flashcards that look like this. So pretty much you can just be like, where are you guys located, right? And you can be like California, right? You can do that. Cool. Really easy. Or you can ask different questions like, who's the owner of the business? How long have you guys been in business? These are all things you want to feed your bot, so when people on the other line ask, there's no sort of confusion. So we always have our clients, when I help set someone up with this, their job, they need to make their own of this because I don't know their business. I just send them a video similar to just like what you're watching right now of how to set this up, and you give that to them as like a resource where they just quickly do it on their own time, and then you're good, right? So that's that. Not going to go crazy in depth there. Only other thing I'll do is when it comes to the 24-hour reminder bot, like I was just showing, 24-hour reminder base, we'll just put that right here. All I like to do, I do this every time, is just, when is my appointment? Okay, and then all you have to say is 24 hours from now. Okay, don't keep the responses, don't keep it super long, like, because this bot is going to follow what you put. So if you put a paragraph, it's going to say the paragraph, and the person will probably just hang up. So yeah, that's important to keep in mind. So that's what I do here. Quickly click out. We can go up here, and then all we have to do is connect it. Okay, so right here, this is where we connect our knowledge base. Perfect. And that's it. Okay, it's now connected. Click out. So now this bot will have all the data that you've already given this knowledge base, and it will pull from it while on calls with people. So that's how we set up these 4 things. So this should be pretty simple, kind of like the first step when it comes to setting up your conversational AI bot. Next, some sort of tasks will be make your first agent, in your knowledge base. Just make it right now. It should only take you max 10 minutes. Test your bot, actually see if it works. So, have fun with it. Like, just test it. See what good parts about it, see what bad parts about it, and like edit and fix it accordingly. And then next, watch my next video on how to connect it to Go High Level using the snapshot I gave you, because it'll be very important. Go High Level is going to be like the main section you're going to have when setting this up with clients. So yeah, you can do that, and I'll quickly see you guys in the next video. Alright, so here's how we connect Air.ai to Go High Level inside of section 4. So let's quickly go into it. First, go over to connecting your GHL calendar to Air, so all the bots that actually call people that then have a good conversation and people book in. What calendar is that actually going to book into? So that's pretty important. Importing your API key, so just that's a pretty big part to even connecting this. You have to have your key inside of Air so it knows where it's going. And then testing your bot. So that's kind of another cool part, is just make sure you can test it. You're going to be able to book in a call with it, and then it should show up on the calendar. So let's quickly go into it. So first, now that we're in our Air.ai account, first thing we'll do is we'll click right here on integrations. Now it'll say Go High Level API key and then Go High Level calendar ID. So what we do over here is we just go to settings in the left, scroll down a little bit, and then we see this little API key right here. If it just has a refresh button, just click that, and then it should give you the actual code that you can copy. Right here, I have it, so I can just copy this, and then I just paste it right here. So I'm not going to paste it just for this video, but that's where you do it. And then next, you've got your calendar ID. So this is where it gets a little bit more confusing. So go down here over into your calendar. Let me move my face a bit. So let's just go people into our discovery calendar. So just the first call that they'll have. Permanent link will be right here. Copy that and then go back over to Air, and then we'll just paste it right here. Okay. And then the really important part is this is not the whole thing. This is not what you put. It's just the end. So right after the booking, and you've got all that little random letters. This is your calendar ID. So then you click that, click right here, Go High Level, save. Okay, that's all you do. Really simple. And then when it comes to your actual right over here, your calendar, this is where you're going to be able to find where people book. So right here, you can click calendars, click on discovery, and then boom. So now what you do is go back over into Air, save. Obviously, I didn't provide anything here, so I'm just going to click out. Go right here, talk to your agent, and then have it actually book in with you. Okay, so probably your sales agent is the one you'll talk to. Have it book in with you. Just be like, great, I'm ready to book a call. And then it should, so if you see down here at the end, it'll give you some time slots available. So according to the last video I just showed and I made, was we went through how to make the script. So it gives you time slots that are open according to the calendar you provided in here. So let's say you've got every day at 3 p.m. open, that's it. What it'll say is when it's talking with either you if you're testing it or all the people on the other line is great. Yeah, we've got times at this. So it's just going to be 3 p.m. today or 3 p.m. tomorrow, 3 p.m. the next day, whatever it is. And they'll also ask for the time zone. So right here it should be what time zone are you in? Right here. So that's originally that's how it's going to know, where it's booking at what time. And then, yeah, so it'll pretty much just read your calendar. It'll book them in, and it should show up as an event right here. And if it doesn't, of course, message in the school community. If it doesn't and it's just not working, send a message. I'll see what I can do if I can fix it, and send you a message on any sort of help. But yeah, that should be it. And that's how you book your call. So some tasks going forward is make sure your bot actually books in, leads actually show up on the calendar, really important. And then watch the next video and set up how inbound calling works, which is probably going to be the most important video when it comes in this section and starts like actually setting things up for clients, because opt-ins from leads or ads, whatever it is, they're going to be wanting to call them right as soon as possible. So this is where you can set up with the automations, and that next video covers it. So let's quickly go over there, and I'll see you guys there. Okay, so this is how we call inbound leads inside of section 4. This will be really important when it comes to client fulfillment and even for yourself, because you're probably going to do this yourself as well. So first, what we're going to do is overview is connecting your Air.ai agent to GHL. So we did this in the other video as far as like the calendar and stuff, but there's some more actual kind of integrations parts we need to do, which I'll show in here. Then we're going to move my face first. Making sure the automations are set up with the right data to send back to Air. So and this will make sense when I explain it. So let's quickly go over there. Okay, so now that I'm inside of GHL, what we'll do is we're first going to go down to automations. Then right over here, we've got lead nurture, pre-call, Air.ai. So this is where these automations will be. Let me quickly make this smaller. So when I explain what this means is just really quickly, I'm going to show what these two automations mean. Is essentially if you have a bunch of sources that you get leads from, like let's say ads or content, you have content, so you have different funnels and different opt-in forms from each. All it does is this is just funneling it to one place, so it adds a tag and then an opportunity. So this tag will essentially just be air lead, okay, which will then trigger the other automation that's in this folder as well, which I'm going to show in a second. So if you've got one source, if you've got ads or whatever it is, your clients just have one source of getting leads, just put one here. You don't have to fill in all four, or all three rather. So quickly go out and then go back into this one. So this one is, you see the trigger here is when this air lead is added, then it will essentially just have the person go down this whole automation, okay? And then it'll wait 5 minutes, create the opportunity, which should just be, check here, opt-in lead, so someone that's opted in. Then we've got a custom webhook. This is where it gets a little bit confusing. So this is why this is going to be easy just using the snapshot that should have came to your email when you sign up in Go High Level. First is, this is what it's going to look like. So it might ask you to like turn on like premium triggers or something like that. Just do it. It's really easy. So just click yes. First is have this as custom webhook, custom event, method post, and then URL should just be this. So it's going to be api.air.ai v1/calls. Okay, so this should already be in the snapshot I've given you, but if it's not, just copy and paste it over pretty much. And then authorization will be bearer token. Okay, this will make more sense when I explain how this works. So this right here is going to be the bearer token. So what we do is we go back over to Air, click right here onto integrations, click on client API, and then all we have to do is make one. So GHL, okay, generate. Now we have this bearer token that we quickly go back over. So copy this and then go right here, delete, and then boom. That's going to be the bearer token that you're going to put here. And then obviously you scroll down. Then we've got this little piece of code. And all that we have to do here is go back over to Air. Okay. So let's say in this automation, so let me just show you for context. This automation, the whole point of this is someone who's opted in, we want to call them multiple times with maybe even different or the same agent, so they've actually booked in a call. So let's say waits 5 minutes, it's going to call them. So 5 minutes after they opt in, it's going to be calling them. Okay, and I'll finish up the setup in a second. Then if they don't book or they don't pick up, whatever it is, it'll wait another hour. Then it'll call them again. Okay, and it's the same exact setup. You'll just obviously put your bearer token there, and then we'll fix the prompt ID in a second. And then we'll wait a day. If they still haven't booked, we'll call them again. Okay, so this is what removes setters, anything like that, and this is why clients love this, is because this is something that literally calls within the first 5 minutes of every opt-in. This isn't like a human where you have to train them, you have to motivate them, you have to do all this stuff. No, this is 100% reliable. Okay, so all that's left is we can have different agents that call on each. So let's say over here in the sales agent category, let's say we have like 3 different sales agents. So one's like a pain and desire gap, one's a one word bot where it probes on one word, and then you have like another agent that calls. Let's say you have 3. You essentially just can put all different 3 in here. For this case, I only have 1, so I'm just going to show you this. What you need to do is, let's go to the first here, is we need to replace this right here. So this is the prompt ID. And what we're going to replace this with is the agent ID. So right up here at the top, you see that. These little numbers, that's your agent ID. So just quickly paste that right there. Save. Save. Okay? So now, within 5 minutes of someone opting in, you'll have this agent right here be calling them. Okay? This stuff, people pay a lot of money for just this little setup right here. And it costs, like a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of money to get this set up. So just remember this when it comes to you setting up clients. This is how you're going to do it. Okay. So kind of these other webhooks, again, like you put in the same bearer token, and all you do is, if you have a different agent, with like a different kind of objective, you can put their separate ID right here. Since we have the same agent on just all these, we can just quickly paste that there. I'm not going to replace the bearer token right now. Just going to be quick. All you do, write that right there. Boom. Okay. That's how you do that. So now it will call pretty much this agent will call 3 times if the lead doesn't book. And you're probably wondering, like, okay, so what if the lead books? How is it going to stop calling? How is it going to get out of this automation if someone books? So over here in the automation I gave where it's the booked call, let's go discovery, okay? Discovery calendar. The first step in this, when it goes for all these reminders and stuff, is it's going to remove any contacts from that workflow. So no one's getting called the next day if they've already booked in, nothing like that. There's going to be no overlaps, right? So, and if you're only doing one call and you only use discovery call, or sorry, the demo call, just make that right there. So just have it exit the other workflow as the first step in this one right here. So yeah, that's how you do that. So what you can do really quickly is, the way you can do this is like a, if you want to manually do this, is let's go over to contacts. Then Twilio, by now, if you're watching this, Twilio isn't set up yet, so nothing will probably call. But we're going to set up Twilio in a second, so you can kind of wait for that. Or if you want to just test it, and if you have Twilio already set up, you can just create a contact. So for this case, you have a contact here. You select it, and then you just click Add to Campaign/Workflow, and then you just click this workflow right here. Okay, so that's how you can do, like, if you have a really, really big list of people you just want to hit, and you can like customize it when you click this button. You can make like a drip mode or all at once, what time of day, all that sort of stuff. You can do that, and it will just have all these people funnel in through this automation and have the bot call them. So yeah, that's it for this one. Really quickly go back over into our slideshow. So yeah, that should be just these two, really, really simple on how you set up the inbound calls. So this will be pretty much just what you use when it comes like to ads and stuff like that to replace setters. Next will be sort of your task, which is to test and make sure this all works. So on your end of things, it's going to look different than mine. You're going to need Twilio set up before this, so the next video should be on Twilio, so watch that. And then obviously get used to messing around with Air. Take notes on what you need to be doing when it comes to client fulfillment, because when you have clients, you're going to kind of just go through this process. Again, this takes like maybe even like 10 minutes, at lowest. Like, this does not take much time, and you're going to get paid a lot for it. So just remember, this is sort of a skill you're going to have, and it's kind of like an upper edge against everyone else. Because this stuff is so new and so early, people are going to pay a lot for it. So just have it noted down so this is easy. You want to refer to it. And yeah, so that's pretty easy, simple, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, so welcome to inside of section 4, how to connect Air to Twilio. So this is going to be really, really important. You won't even be able to use or have Air function without this step. So let's go into it. First, how to even make a Twilio account. That should be really, really easy. Just quickly log in with email. It's the first step. Next, down here, is we will buy a number and connect our number to Air. So there's a little bit of kind of webhook URLs we have to put in. Next, import your Twilio keys into Air so it will read that it's the right account. And then lastly, test the number to make sure it works. So really, really important. Let's go into it. So first, this should be pretty easy, but all you have to do is click login up here, or if you don't have an account already, start for free. You'll make an account, and then you should get shot right over into this page. It might look a little bit different, but when you do sign up, I do recommend using an authenticator app, just because I've seen a lot of people get hacked with this before. If you can't, just at least try to do 2FA with your phone. That should be good. So first thing we'll do is they might prompt you to have a paid plan because you're on a free plan or whatever. Their paid plan is essentially you just pay $10 and that counts towards your account balance, which you'll need anyways to call. So if they ask you to do that, do it. It should be really simple. So first thing we'll do is, ask if they have anything asking you, just do it when it comes to upgrading your plan. Otherwise, pretty simple from there. Your screen should look like this. So first thing we'll do is click on phone numbers over here, click manage, and then click active numbers. You might have, so this is just a phone number I just bought as an example. You might have a phone number already in here that they gave you as just a, one of the numbers that just comes pre in your account. Click on it right here and really quickly click on properties and then release it. It sometimes takes a couple hours to actually sync, but you don't want their number because essentially it's just going to get marked as spam, and who wants their number as spam? So really quickly you can just buy a number right here, and it's I think it costs $1 or something like that. So Yeah, you can filter it by zip code. So whatever zip code you want, you can first part number, search. So let's just go 641. Okay, just random area code. Boom. So you can quickly just buy it there. Easy. And you won't need to verify for 2FA or anything like that unless you're trying to text off these two. Ideally, in Go High Level, you have your own number, so won't worry about any of this. This is just going to be strictly for Air. And really quick food for thought, if you're doing a lot of calling, like if you're calling like 10,000 plus people a week, I would go through these numbers and I'd buy 3 at the start regardless, 3 numbers. If you're going through a lot every week, a lot of calls and everything like that, I would cycle them out like every 1 to 2 weeks, just so you don't get marked as spam, because it's pretty easy to get marked as spam with mass amounts of calling, in a really, really short amount of time. So yeah, buy your numbers, go over here to active numbers. You should buy like 2 or 3, I recommend. They should show up here like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to click right here on your phone number. And then there's going to be some things you got to put in. So there's going to be some pre-filled already sections. Copy and paste what I have here. So this URL here is going to be chat.air.ai hooks inbound call. And then you also have, air hooks fly dev call status. Okay. So put these here, just pretty much copy exactly what I have here. And then you should be good. Next, go down here, make sure yours looks the same as mine. No options, no URL, anything like that, and you just click Save Configuration. Okay, great. Do these for all the numbers you have and you want to connect to Air that you're going to be calling from. Okay, so after you've done that, it's pretty simple from now on. So all you have to do is click right here on your account, and then you're going to scroll down to right here. Okay, make sure, so like I said, the release number that sometimes you just come and you just release it immediately, it might show up as here for now. So this is the number that's going to be calling from Air, is this default number right here. You can also view them, but once you release it and you have your 2 or 3 numbers that you bought, it should show up right here over time. So what we'll do first is we're going to go over to Air and we're going to click on integrations. Next, Twilio. And simple as it sounds is you're going to copy your SID right here, copy that, paste it right here, and then you're going to paste your auth token. So copy that and then paste that right there and then click save. And essentially that is it as far as the phone number goes. Now you'll be calling from all the numbers that you have right over here and you'll be good to go. So just make sure you do this, go through it. It should be pretty easy. And from there's not going to be anything else. Just make sure that pretty much everything's integrated as far as your SID auth token, and you're good to go. So that's how you connect Twilio, and let's head back over to the PowerPoint. So cool. Now that you've done these 4 things, ideally you've tested it. Like I said, it might take a couple hours for that old number to get rid of the system and it'll sync. But just make sure this works. Next, tasks. Make sure the inbound calling works for you. You can test it like I was showing in the other video. Is create a contact, add it to the little workflow that we were in to set up the agent ID and all that, and make sure it calls you. And this will be exactly what you set up for your clients. So this is really, really easy and pretty simple. So yeah, let's go over to the next video, and yeah. Okay, so in this video, we're going to go over how to launch a campaign, which should be pretty easy and simple. So first will be the campaign UI in Air. So how we just navigate this. It's going to look very, very similar if you've ever used the ads manager before in Facebook or even like TikTok. It's going to be like the same thing. How I set up my campaign, so just going to show you how I do it for either my clients or myself. Importing leads, so we have to make some contact lists and all that. So, just the basic setup. And then eventually launching the campaign and clicking on for the launch. So yeah, let's quickly go into it. Okay, so now that we're in our Air account, you'll click contacts right here. And then next it will be import contacts. So I always like to make a list first. It's going to come with this first list. You can just delete this. And then create a list. So let's do list number 1 test, right? Save. And then in this list, we can import contacts. So right here, we'll click the list, click yes, and then we click next step. Okay, and then I'm going to drag and drop, just quickly import my list of leads here. So again, this campaign, you're only going to need to do this if you have a big list of leads that have already opted in. for yourself or for your clients, and you want Air to just strictly call them. And that'll be what's 12 cents a minute. All the inbound, everything that I've shown other than this video is the 30 something cents per minute that in talk time. But it doesn't charge you if the conversations don't go over a minute, so it's still pretty cheap anyways. So yeah, let me quickly import my leads and I'll show you what to do from there. Okay, cool. So this is just some random leads list I found. All you have to do is, once you have it here, click next step. Make sure everything's good here. So you can only have these four pretty much added. So let me find where is phone number. Here we go. Phone, perfect. It's right here. Oh, I guess I got rid of it. Cool. So you can only have four here. I wish there were like custom things we could make. Not yet, at least. So for now, that's going to be it. Click next step. Click import data. Should process, and then we'll be able to go to our campaign. So cool. These are some random leads that we have. We can go into campaigns right here, and then now we just click launch a campaign. So what we do right here, and by the way, guys, if you're watching this, recordings right here, you can view all your call recordings. If you ever had a bunch of calls going on or inbound leads, anything here, you'll be able to listen to them here, which is kind of cool. So click launch campaign. I don't have my credit card added, so let me quickly do that, but you'll have to have your card added in order to launch it. So yeah, let me quickly skip to that. Okay, so once you have your card added, I just switched to a new account because it was asking me a bunch of stuff with my Twilio that I didn't add, because just showing as the example. But here's the new account. So you'll just click new campaign right here, scroll all the way down, click agree and set up. Cool. And then call source will just be, test, right? Like, doesn't matter. And then this will be outbound. So you can even set up like a front desk here. They give you a phone number that everyone will just call, and then essentially that phone number right there will just be like one like hotline almost of like the agent, right? And then outbound calling is probably what you're going to be doing with your big list. Select your agent here. So let's just say we have a bunch here. We can just click a solar call example. We'll just pick the one that you ideally want to have contacting all of these leads. Select your list here, and then you can click your daily budget. So let's say our daily budget is $10. It's 11 cents per minute of output, and this only charges you, like I've said, if the call goes over a minute. And then you click save and launch. Pretty simple. How the max daily budget works is it will call up until hit that daily budget, or it will call up until the leads list is done. They've gone through all the leads, the bots call them, there's no one else, right? So we can click out right here, and it looks the same, right? If you've ever seen like an ad campaign, same thing. So you can click on off right there. So this is how you turn it on. There's not many settings when it comes to like certain times a day you want to call, or just certain things that you wish you had. You can set that up within Go High Level. That is the one thing with the API. Just adding it to that campaign. If you had a campaign of just sending it straight here, is just like a one workflow. Kind of like how we have had it set up. You just upload your contacts there, but it will cost like 30 cents per minute instead of 11. So not much customizations you can do here, but it's simple and it works. So you'll see all the dials, pickups, how many failed calls, busy calls, no answer, amount spent, and then outcomes. So how many book calls or whatever the outcome is, and then cost per outcome, right? You can click your dates right here and change that. And ultimately, that's how you launch your campaign. You just click on right there, and you're good to go. So yeah, okay, cool. So hopefully this has helped. This is pretty much exactly how you will use the campaign setting inside of Air, and you should be good to go. So after this is your tasks is to quickly set up and launch your first campaign. Have a notebook with steps you'll take when you launch your clients' campaigns, if they want this launched, or just setting up an inbound campaign. Pretty simple. You just have notes there you can refer to, and you're good to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this section. This has been kind of a lot as far as like technical goes, but this is stuff you can always refer to when you have questions, and always post questions in the community if you have those too. So yeah, hope this has helped you in any way, shape, or form when it comes to learning Air, and I will see you guys in the next section. All right, so welcome to section 5 inside of the whole course of selling AI. This is going to mainly be about sales and sales mastery. So pretty much what I've learned in year and a half-ish, of just pretty much taking calls, getting people to actually buy a product from someone who looks kind of like a kid, right? So let's go into it. First, what we're going to cover is appearance is everything. So Again, I'm not gonna make this and tell you and give you a claim that I'm the best salesperson out there. I'm not, but I'm gonna give you the main nuggets that I've learned from it. And appearance is one of those things where I've learned a lot from just, you can look back at all the videos I've made, even on YouTube. I've always kept somewhat of a presence. Like, I don't look like I'm sitting in a basement or something like that. Like, I look somewhat presentable in a way, which is why actually I believe a lot more people choose to go with me. Two, taking frame and temperature checking. So taking frame is obviously very, very important at the start of the call, so you're not the one feeling like you're getting sold to. You're actually selling to the other person. They don't just take over the conversation. And then temperature checking, getting kind of the feeling where they're at towards the end of the call before you reveal any sort of investments or pricing, anything like that. And then objection handling, very, very important. I'm going to give out the scripts that I personally use, just everything I've written down from all the trainings I've watched. Like, most of the guys I listen to out there, which I'll kind of go into just really quickly in the next slide, are trained by this one smaller guy that I watch, and he gives really, really good advice when it comes to handling objections and anything like that. So overall tasks is watch the 3 next videos in this little section. It's not going to be very big. It's going to be short and to the point. And then the guy who was talking about, who trains most of these big guys you listen to, their teams, his name is Bill Walsh. He's on YouTube. He's a little bit of a following, but he's really, really good stuff. So I recommend watching him. And yeah, that's just something to keep in mind when I go through this, because I've learned a lot from him, and that's mainly where these objection handling scripts and everything like that is coming from. So if you want to know. But yeah, we'll quickly go into the next 3 videos, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, so welcome to the second video inside of section 5. This is going to be mainly about appearance, how it's very important, how I kind of leverage this. It's very simple. Might sound stupid, but I actually believe this was a big factor when I started closing for me being able to sell a lot looking pretty young. So let's go into that. So ultimately, first, why I closed more than I should have at 16 years old. Like, that's just kind of like one of those things where collecting over 100K in the span of like being 16 and then eventually starting to be 17, like, that's pretty impressive, I think, for looking how I did, to be honest. Biggest mistakes I see with other people when I see them actually in their calls and presenting. And my advice, I can move this here, my advice to someone and people who need to present themselves better but don't know how with like a low budget or anything like that. So really quickly, I'm going to kind of just rant here a little bit. But so what I've learned, and you can look back at my videos that I made when I was starting, is I had a background that I had a bed in the back just like as I do now. So like, it's not a complete game changer or killer, but like, okay, perfect example right here. Okay, you see that little olive tree right there? That's like $20, 20 something, $25, and it makes the environment look better. Like, if there's nothing over there, obviously this mic does look somewhat, professional and things, but you can look back at my old videos. I had little lamps and things, like, whatever you can do to show people like, hey, I'm actually somewhat professional. Obviously a bed in the background doesn't help, but it's one of those things where if you have to do it, I did it. So that's a big thing for me, is like, look like you actually know what you're talking about, even if you don't, right? And that's like kind of what I did. Starting is like, I really didn't know how to talk with these realtors and stuff like that, but I just acted like I did, and I potentially looked like I did, right? And that's what helped a lot. So 100%, like, do what you can to not just have like a super blank background. Like, I see people with just like a white background, or even worse, like one of those like zoom filters, those like, you can make your zoom kind of just like an auto background, or maybe a blur is okay here and there, but just make your background kind of just even looking like this. Very simple, nothing crazy, but just actually looks somewhat decent. This looks like I'm in a professional environment, right? And then sort of like kind of back over here. So like the biggest mistakes I see with people, honestly, is that they, like, kind of like I was just saying, like, they have just a super bland background, and they just probably don't look like themselves. Like, they don't look crazy presentable, and they don't really look like they really know what they're talking about. Like, I've jumped on calls with people who probably they don't know much about what they're talking about either, but they're newer into the space, but they actually look presentable, and it makes you want to buy more from them, right? And that's kind of the same thing as me. So same advice, very, very simple video I'm just giving here, but just do what you can, make things look a little bit better here and there. And honestly, like, just some tasks after this video, just keep in mind is like, evaluate your setup, look, everything like that, and make needed changes. So if you think that you look like a little kid sitting in your mom's basement, or you look like you're homeless or whatever it is, don't spend a crazy amount of money on this stuff. Like, please don't. But just don't make yourself look like a scammer, okay? Because like that's what you will. Your impression is very, very important, probably more valuable than even what you're saying to these people. Because I'm not gonna believe you, regardless if you just look like you don't know what you just look like ridiculous, right? So that's probably the number one thing you can do. Personally, what I've learned myself and what I've had since the beginning, which has really, really helped me and just been able to leverage that. So yeah, very, very simple video. I'll kind of go into the next video about more like sales, like actually things that you can take that are tangible when you jump on calls. But obviously, your setup is very important as well. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, so taking frame and temperature checking, very, very important when it comes to your calls overall and you wanting to, actually control the conversation rather than feeling like the person where the other person's just dominating and, you kind of feel like a little boy or whatever to them, right? Kind of how it is. So first overview of what I'm going to talk about here is losing frame. So losing the sale is essentially, it's the same thing. If you lose the frame, you're just going to lose the sale. Like, that's what I've learned personally, because trust me, when I started, I did not have much frame at all. 2 is your questions and your discovery is 80% of the sale. This is something I learned pretty early, to be honest, but when you're on your calls, they should be talking a lot more. Like, ideally, if you're going to look at like what percent of who talked throughout the whole call, they should talk more than you are, right? And that's because you're going to ask them a lot of questions at the start. And you're really going to understand them, so they actually feel like, okay, he's actually interested in helping me, right? Because that's the whole point of these calls. Like, don't view them like you're just trying to make some money. View it as like, okay, we're actually going to help this person, and then in the process, we'll make some money out of it too, right? Keep the slides in the demo deck short. I see some people with like 100 slides, and it's just pretty much pathetic. Like, they're just sitting there going through slides the whole time. The other person's asleep. It's just not worth it. So definitely do that. And then temperature checking before the investment and pricing. Very, very important when it comes to you really just understanding, like, here's what I like to think is, like, before I even give them a price, I want them to understand that, great, they understand the product, they think this will work for them, and, if anything, if it was free today, would they go with it? Was it worth their time? They would say yes, great. Then we go to the next slide, right? Because realistically, the money objection is probably the easiest objection to handle. So that's why this is kind of very, very important. So starting at the top, losing frame, you essentially equals losing the sale. Very, very simple. If you're talking to someone who is just dominating the conversation, you aren't even getting out what you're trying to get out, and they're kind of just like patting you on the head type thing, is like, dude, you're never going to close them, or most of the time you won't, right? And then your questions and discovery is 80% of the sale. So you need to be understanding, like, this is what I mean, like, in the discovery and you understanding their pain points and sort of everything about their business. That almost you need to be taking that as ammo, right? So when you go into you showing the pitch deck or your presentation or just your product, you have a bunch of things you can tailor toward them. So like, if they say, great, they've been burned in the past a lot. Okay, great. So like, this person, you've got a testimonial, have been burned here. They were burned a bunch too. They jumped on with us. You've got this to help prevent that. You've got guarantees or whatever in place, and they were able to scale to this amount, right? It's kind of how you need to think of it. And it's very, very important to understand them, probably more in a way than they'll even understand what you're doing. Although both are extremely important. So keeping the slides in the demo deck short is like, this should be an obvious, like, if your presentation's over 20 slides or even like 15, depending on your niche and kind of just your situation, it's probably not a good presentation. Like, if you have like just a bunch of quick like testimonial slides, okay, cool. But if you're sitting there with a bunch of words, like, I hate when people have paragraphs on their slides. Like, just make it very simple, make it one line, and then elaborate on all of it. Very simple. It's like a PowerPoint presentation. Just, treat it like that, right? And then temp checking before investment and pricing. You're not even, like, if you go into the investment and you haven't even asked them, great, does this sound like a fit? Does this sound like this would work for you? And they straight up just say no, then you kind of just screwed yourself. Then you've got to handle that. Like, you can handle most of this stuff before you even give them the price. which then just leads them with a couple things they can say, which is maybe I got to go speak with a partner, or the price, which both are fairly easy to handle, to be honest. Next video will kind of cover that on just the exact scripts I use. So that's that. Really quickly, just keep these in mind, very, very quick of what I'm saying here, but take these and implement them into your own sales process is what I'm saying. So yeah, tasks is have notes on this, before you actually go on your calls so you can review, and then list down all the questions you think that you would ask your prospects. So use ChatGPT for help. So if you have questions, like you have a whole list of things you want to ask them and kind of just dig deep on, really understanding their business, use just a Google document, like make it very simple and easy for you. So all you have to do is read through some questions and then kind of just, elaborate off each one as they speak more. So yeah, very simple. We'll go into the next video and I'm going to kind of just cover the exact, pretty much copy and paste objection handling, just skills and kind of just scripts I use that should save you a lot of money. So let's quickly go into that. All right, so welcome to the objection handling section. It's out of 5. This is going to be probably the most important one. If you listen to this, you're going to get a lot of value from it just because it's going to save you a lot of time than going out and doing a bunch of research. I'm just give you the exact sort of scripts and everything I use here. So first, overview is the things we're going to cover and sort of the objections we're going to cover is first is the I need to think about it one. So I'm sure if you've had calls, you've heard of this, very, very common. Second is I need to talk to a partner. So, I might need to talk to my wife or my husband, whatever it is, right? Or my business partner, something like that. I don't make same day decisions. So also very, very kind of annoying one to handle is they just say like, I've heard people say they need to pray the night before they make a decision and stuff like that. You kind of just handle it here. And 4 is I don't have the money, which is a pretty easy one to handle actually. So first, we'll go into it is, let me get this out. So here's the script I use. So I need to think about it. First, you'll just say, great, yeah, that's not a problem. And then say, can I ask, in your opinion, before you do go and think about it, is do you feel like what we've covered today can actually get you to XYZ, whatever goal is that they have? And then you say, because that's the most important part for me at the end of the day, right? And then they say, yeah, of course it can. I just need to think about it. And then you go, okay, so then let me ask you, why do you feel like it can, right? So like have them repeat back to you all the reasons they should go with you. Okay, that's kind of the incentive. That's the whole thinking behind it. Because then they're going to just say to themselves, oh, they do this, they do this, they do this, they do all these things great, right? It's kind of just, playing word games a bit. And then 4, you say, okay, cool. So, can I ask, when you do go and think about it, like what is coming up for you that makes you want to do so? Just so I can understand if I can help that at all. And then from there, you kind of just take it and you find the real objection, right? Because like in this process, you're sort of trying to find their main key objection. Like that's the whole point of this, So that's what I do for the I need to think about it one. Pretty simple but pretty good at the same time. I need to talk to a partner. So this is an annoying one. So what I like to say for this one, try to, before they even jump on a call with you, check them and screen them for this. Say, do you have any other decision makers? And if you can say this at the start of the call and they say, yeah, I do. I have, my wife, she makes decisions with me. Great. Is she in the room with you? Can she jump on the call? Oh, no, she's at work right now. Then say, okay, great. Like, let's just cancel this call. Let's reschedule because I want to have everyone at the table. So there's no sort of ears that are, missed out, right? That's the first approach I'll take to it. So make sure before the call or just start of the call, you screen for that. Then at the end of the call, if they say this, which would be, almost just like a lie if they went through that. But you can just say, yeah, that's not a problem. I have a partner myself, so I understand. Can I ask, in your opinion, before you do go and talk to your partner, do you feel like what we've gone over today can get you to this goal? Because that's the most important part for me, right? And then same process, right? Repeat back to why you can. Okay, like, well, okay, so why do you say that? Why do you feel like it can? And then 4, okay, cool. So when you go and talk to your partner about this, do you feel like he or she would want you to learn and actually invest in a program? That's spelled it wrong. But invest in a program like this to get this goal. And do you think like that would really change your business? Like ask some questions like this, right? And then, you can say 5 optional. You can say like, okay, so why would he or she want you to join the program after this many years of trying other solutions, right? If that's in their use case, you can say that. Or just go straight to 6 where say, okay, cool. And I suppose in that capacity, when you do go into your partner, what do you feel like would actually be potential obstacles that they may have that might stop you from making a good decision like this, getting you to this goal, right? Same thing. So these are the exact processes I like to use, and this is straight from a guy named Bill Walsh. You can look him up. So I mentioned his name in the first video. But very, very important, and I would recommend writing this down, noting this down, because this has helped me a lot, right? Next is I don't make same-day decisions. Okay, so great. Yeah, that's not a problem. So you mentioned you're at this number or whatever a month now. Are you happy being, 10K a month or 15K a month? Great. And then they say, okay, so would it be fair to say that decisions you've made up until this point have resulted in you being in this position where you're not hitting the goal of $30,000 a month? They kind of have to say yes, right? Like there's no other question about that. And then 4, okay, then would it be fair to assume that in order to get to this goal, you would probably need to adopt a new way of making decisions in order to make some small changes in your decision-making process to get there, right? Great. Then they have to kind of just say yes back to you. If they don't, you check them on their logic, right? Like a lot of this times they're going to say things that might sound stupid because it is stupid, but they're trying to just, veer away, right? You want to find the true objection throughout all this. And then, you can say, so the people who are making 7 figures, when they're confronted of a 6K investment, that can be improve a business and his life, what do you think at this moment? Do you think he runs away, or like, what do you think he does with that? Ask some questions where it puts them in a different frame of mind of like, okay, what are the people who are at my goal thinking and doing? How do I adopt that way of thinking? I might have kind of butchered it in the way I said it, but that's kind of the way I like to think of, saying this to people, because you just got to put them in the frame of mind, or you got to just check them and say, hey, you're an idiot. You've said this, and they're just going to say things that don't make sense. So then you can check them on their logic, and they just leave the call because they realize, wow, I'm stupid for that, right? So yeah, main things. And then the money objection, which should be the easiest, but you can go, great, yeah, that's not a problem. I can see how the investment could be a big step, and you from getting from 10 grand a month to 30 grand a month is also a massive step, right? Yeah. So money aside, because that's the easy stuff. In your own opinion, do you feel like what we've done and what we've shown you here can get you to where you want to go? Yes. Why do you feel like it can? Okay, they repeat everything back to you. Same thing, right? And then, okay, so if you had the 6K in your hand right now, would you do it? And then you can also like add at the end, like I sometimes add, or would you just go, on some vacation and just splurge and spend all your money there, right? You can kind of just say that, right? And then next you say, so why do you say that? Okay, so have them repeat more stuff back to you, giving you more information. And at the bottom, just really quick on step 5, it's spelled a little bit different as well, but the way it is the way I say things is, if they're really, really verging, they're saying like, no, like they're still being like kind of a hard head, or they're not really following like what you're saying, and they're kind of just maybe lying. What you can say is like, so I'm kind of sensing maybe a little bit of uncertainty throughout this. Is it that you just don't have the money, or is this that like you just can't make the step to spend and invest the money into getting 30K a month? Okay. And you ask them like, which one is it? Right. And one big tip I have for beginners around this stuff is if they say, great, I'm all for it, I have the money and everything now, or maybe they say like I don't have the money now, right? Let's say they have $0 in the bank account, but they're getting a payment, tomorrow or next week, whenever it is. What you do is you don't get off the call without any sort of skin from them, right? Like signing a contract doesn't mean anything, right? What you do is, and this is what I do, sometimes they just block you immediately after, but at least you tried, is you just get their credit card information, put it on file, and be like, great, so yeah, we'll schedule in a call this time. Sounds like you're all ready to go and you're for this. You just have to wait for a payment. No worries if you don't have money now. We'll meet next Thursday, and we will get the payment from you then. We'll bill you then, and then we'll get you onboarded. Great. And if they refuse there, then you can be like, okay, yeah, like, then you kind of go into some more objection handling, because then they're just lying to you, right? Like the whole point of this is all these objections, all these right here that you're looking at, these are all just people lying, okay? That's most of what this is, okay? So keep that in mind. Some of it is truthful, most of it won't be. And take that when you go into these calls, is don't just think when someone says, hey, can you send me an email? I'll think about it. That's 99% the other way of saying a no. Okay, and that's something that I messed up with at the start, but you learn, the more you do it. So yeah, those are the 4 ways I handle these. These are like the most common ones, I would say. So some tasks after this video is save these responses and have them on your calls, have them ready, just have them on like a document where if they say this, if they throw this at you, you scroll down, you go right there. And I also like to say role play with other people to help. It's been like a game changer for me, and that's going to be the only real kind of applicable examples you'll have into sort of sales training in general. And yeah, very, very important. So recommend that. It's a game changer. And overall, I hope these helped. Again, credit to Bill Walsh. Great guy. You should listen to him. And when it comes to sales training and stuff, he won't let people get off the hook. He'll put them in their place and he'll tell them, the truth and the reality of their situation, which is a lot of people need to hear that. Okay, so yeah, hope the sales training helped. This is the end of section 5, so you can head over into section 6 where it's just going to be one short video, which is kind of just explaining what I'm doing currently to scale past, right now 30K, 20, 30K a month-ish, just with this exact business I've kind of shown you guys here in general. So yeah, hope this has helped, and I'll see you guys in the next section. All right, so welcome to section 6, which is mainly going to be scaling past 20K per month, just exactly what I'm kind of doing right now as far as things go. And really, this is just going to be a short video and giving you some insight on kind of what I'm thinking going forward. And also, like, if you're in the position right now where you're potentially selling like something similar to AI, or like you're in a similar situation to me where you're scaling, rapidly past these numbers of like 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a month, for sure to hit me up. Like, hit me up on Instagram, hit me on a Discord, wherever, and mention you kind of went through this. You hopefully found it somewhat valuable, and, kind of just scale. We can connect from there. But ultimately, kind of the way I'm thinking of going about things is mainly making everything systemized, right? And that's going to just save more money at the end of the day. It's going to make things better. So sort of like our onboarding process, having some sort of client fulfillment process where it's super, super dialed, and just things like that to just make the business overall in general better. And also trying to keep margins very, very, very high, right? Like, I don't want low margins where I keep 10, 30, whatever percent. Like, I want to consistently be taking minimum 60% of what's actually made, and that's what I've been able to do. So huge thing for me is keeping it kind of lean, keeping it actually effective, and quick onboarding process, quick fulfillment, and keeping things just everything dialed in general. So yeah, that's just some little insight. I'm not going to rant here because most of you probably won't be at this stage yet as of listening to this. So, that's just some things that I'm working on currently. But like, if you are at this and you found this valuable, like, make a post in the school community, say, hey, I found this very useful, or leave a comment on a YouTube video, this one or whatever one I'm planning on releasing this as a, one big video. Say it was helpful or valuable in any way. It would mean a lot. I spent, I don't know how much time building it out, but kind of just one of those free things I wanted to make, because transferring over from a basic agency model to this has been much better in general for profit wise and also time wise. So both the things I kind of was looking after when I was making money in SMMA, and I just didn't really like it in general. So yeah, hopefully you found this helpful. Make some posts in school or YouTube, and if you are past 20, 30, whatever K a month, when you're watching this video, hit me up on some of my platforms, and we'll connect from there. So yeah, overall, hope you found this all valuable, and again, share with your friends. I'm not gonna running ads to this or anything like that. Like, this is just one of those free resources I'm making to kind of just give everyone insight, and again, just documenting what I've been learning over the past year and a half of kind of just giving back, right? Because I've essentially just gone all in on this, and I've learned a lot, and I've made a good amount as well. So I'm assuming there's a lot of people out there who kind of following footsteps that I went through, and hopefully this just speeds up the process a bit. So yeah, hope you found this valuable, and I'll see you guys whenever on a call or whenever. Hopefully you jump on some of these calls I host, and I'll see you there. So yeah, later. Hope you found it valuable.